You need the touch of the people.
I need the touch of the people, want the touch of the people. I am in isolation like everyone else. I also had to cancel all of my promotion due to the coronavirus. So my best way of talking to my fans is by being on there, I suppose.
How, by the way, one, love watching the Instagram lives, but two, how fucking weird is all of this? It is kind of, it must have been a process to wrap your mind around, right? Because you have one expectation for how your sophomore album will roll out, and then there's this.
Yeah, I didn't see it like this, weirdly enough. Bit of shock to the system, but I think it's a shock to everyone's system, and I think the last thing the world needs to be worrying about is my album, but obviously I want them to worry about that too.
Well, I think now's the time to listen to music.
Well, hopefully, yeah. I hope that when people are at home, they'll listen to my stuff now.
Heartbreak Weather is worth everybody's time and energy. By the way, we were prepared to have a full-on discussion and go track by track down this album with you, but you mentioned that a part of all of this, our interview was canceled. So I don't know how deep to go, but you should be very proud. It's a phenomenal album, top to bottom. I loved it, man. What story are you telling?
Yeah, I know our chat was meant to happen, but it got cancelled, sadly. We were meant to do our long chat like we always do. I was just trying to tell the story from like the start of a relationship, the feelings that you have during a relationship that you might not want, and then kind of the back end of the relationship, which is all the sad stuff and sometimes the egotistical moments as well. And I tried to tell that with the track listing. I think it's one of those albums you can listen to from start to finish and actually understand what's going on. So that's what I was trying to do.
All of my life's been heartbreak weather, thinking to myself, won't get better. What do you mean by that? Is that the realization that being selfish won't help you find love? Or you got to stop caring about yourself and start caring about other people?
No, it's just kind of like, heartbreak weather to me means like ups and downs, like, you know, storm, like in that sense it would have been like a stormy feeling of, I mean, I go through, you go through the middle of things not working out and stuff like that, and then you finally get the one, and you're like, the feel when you're with it, and it's a kind of hard one.
Dude, the guitar on it is power. Did we lose him?
Maybe it's no, I'm here.
You're going in and out. I hate this 2020 right now. I can barely hear you.
Hello.
Yo. Oh, whoa. You sound good there.
Got it. Oh, there we go.
Beautiful. Thank you. But we were talking about heartbreak weather. By the way, nostalgic feeling, power guitar, but the story feels really present. Great record, top to bottom, dude. Where did that guitar come from? How did that come out?
Come again?
The guitar on Heartbreak Weather. Where did that come from? Because it is a guitar, right?
Yeah, well, it was just the main riff that we had. Like we were just messing around, and it was one of those songs that came out of nowhere. And it was actually at a time we had writing, doing nothing for about 3 days, just sitting there looking at each other. And then John Ryan just started playing that riff, and straight away, I was like, "This is it. Here we go." Big, massive drums, really like anthemic 80s feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, I could just ramble on the mic, and it was such a fun song to, like you spend a lot of time like singing, trying to sing good melodies over guitar riffs and stuff like that. And when you catch a good one, it just feels like it just flows. When the vibe comes, like I can usually tell straight away. Like when Nice to Meet You, when I started playing that riff for Nice to Meet You, I was like, this is it. If the riff is hooky like that, then I've got no problem singing over it. And same with the Heartbreak Weather riff. Like the riff is so present that you just want to jump straight on it. And oh God, I love that song.
There's a Bruno Mars shout out in the lyrics.
Yeah, there is.
Pretty casual.
Yeah, no, I was watching in the scenario that the song is about, we were watching Bruno Mars did an NBC documentary or a special live from I don't know where.
Oh, Live from the Apollo.
Like
it was
that,
on
but,
CBS, and I believe your friend produced it, Ben Winston. I think I know what special you're talking
That's
about.
right. Yeah, that exact one. Yeah. So I was watching that because Ben told me it was coming up, and I'm obviously everyone like everyone, huge fan of Bruno. I was watching that, so that's where the lyric came from.
Seamless, beautiful. Daniel Zolot, how are you feeling over there?
Well, why'd you end the album with "Still"?
Hey, bud.
Hey, what's up, man?
It was the last song that I wrote for the album, and kind of happened very naturally. I actually had just gone over to the studio to record some ad libs for "Small Talk," which is another song on the album, and we had dinner while I was there, and then I went back into the studio and picked up this guitar that was like tuned in like drop D or something like that, and I just started playing, and I just started playing that, and then within about 10 minutes I'd written the first verse, the chorus, and the second verse, and it just kind of all fell out, and it kind of, as I was singing it, I was saying to myself, this sums up everything that I've been doing for the last year. All of the stuff that I've been trying to write, all the storyline I've been trying to tell, this just wraps it all up. And this is like the most self-deprecating I've been in a song, and honest. And I absolutely love this song. I think it's one of my favorite songs I've ever written. And yeah, I had to put it there. It felt right to put it at the end.
It kind of sounds like you're saying you're not completely over the relationship that you were writing about.
I love how you're always the one to ask these types of questions. That's too nice. That's too nice to do it. So you do it first. No, I mean, when I wrote the song, I don't think it was. No.
Well, I mean, of course I'm going to ask. You're making it pretty obvious, and you say, "Well, I'm still in love with you."
Yeah, no, I definitely. When I wrote the song, I wasn't. But I'm fine now.
Let's go to a song like Black and White. Beautiful record.
Yeah.
I want the world to witness when we finally say I do. It's the way you love. I got to give it back to you. Do you write a song like this while you're in love or after you're in love?
No, this was a title that I had for a while. And it's kind of, I put it next to a song called Dear Patience. Because it's kind of like, you tell, when you first start going out with someone, within 10 minutes, you've told yourself, this is it. I'm all over this. I've seen this in the movies. This is how it's meant to end. We're meant to walk down the aisle together. I also then wrote a song called Dear Patience to tell myself to slow back down again and get out of that, because the amount of times that I've walked in and out of relationships because I wasn't patient enough. And I just felt like this was a good thing to write about.
Do you imagine yourself at the age of 65 ever?
Yeah, I do. I would like to think that I'd have adults sorted out by then. I'm 26, so I've got a bit of time to get there. But I would like to think that I would have been married and be doing exactly what I say in the song. Because there's nothing better than when you see it yourself and you see a couple together forever. It's brilliant.
Do you feel like putting that in writing has now put pressure on you to find love like this?
No, I would like it, but I know that what I have learned in my short 26 years is that you can't put pressure on it. Dear Patience, can we share a drink and let go of the pressure?
Those fiddles, though, on that record really hit me like a ton of bricks, dude.
You know what? So many people have said that. So many people have said that to me, because I tell you why they hit you like a ton of bricks, because they don't happen at any other stage in the song, and they just appear at the end when you think you've learned everything about that song. And that's why I put them in there. I just felt like it was kind of like a nice moment, and they don't have any really crazy relevance to the song, but I just felt like it suited the song in the end.
But I feel like that's weirdly connected to life and patience, right? Like the idea that it comes at the end, it hits you when you're not expecting it. It's kind of like there's good that can come out of patience. You know, patience is a virtue.
Exactly, and we all possess it, but we don't use it very well sometimes. So that's why I think I've noticed that Dear Patience is this one song that's really connected with people so far. Because we all feel that. It's just kind of, you basically, as I was writing the song, it was kind of like writing a letter to patience and to yourself, because you always rush stuff.
By the way, I had that in my notes. I was like, are you talking to yourself or are you talking to patience? My question is, after you write a song like this, do you find out how to acquire more patience or to at least possess this quality?
Well, I'll let you know after my next relationship if I did a good job.
Bending the Rules, by the way, another great record. Sorry, I cut you off. You were talking. It's weird, this phone thing, I can't see you.
I know, it's strange.
But Bending the Rules, another great record. What perspective did you write this song from?
This was kind of like an all-round, when I was writing the concepts and stuff, I wrote down this paragraph of when I'm not saying I necessarily felt it or whatever myself, but you always have these things where at the start of a relationship where you're afraid to trust, so you're not sure if you should, and you start doubting everything. So you're just basically like asking the question of, are you bending the rules? I'm not saying you are because I don't have any proof, but are the rules being bent? And this was like, when I started singing this, I felt like I was like turning into Bruce Springsteen the more I sang the verse. It was like, in my head I had like Streets of Philadelphia in my head, and I was singing that song. And when I started writing this song, and it was such like a Brucey type narrative as well, so I just ended up started going like, I'm not saying when I started singing. So for a couple of hours I turned into Bruce Springsteen. But yeah, the idea that there's a couple of tunes there where you start to doubt things even though you've got no idea why.
Totally.
Because you're not ready to let go and trust, if you know what I mean.
So, question: after writing an album like this, do you learn anything new about love?
Yeah, I definitely learned so much about myself. I think I have. I've learned to be, even when I was writing this album, the way I wanted to write the album was in a less selfish way. Because I've written tons of love songs before, and they all seem to be, I'm so sad, me, and I was just like, I think I said this to you when I was with you last time. Like, I wanted to try and write songs from different people, like the different angles of things, and be self-deprecating and tell the truth, and then also be really, like, egotistical and kind of. I wanted to have all the angles of, like a relationship, which doesn't mean happiness and sunshine all the time, or selfish moments. It has different angles to it. There's not one thing about it. So I think because of that, it says a lot about me, because I probably wouldn't have done that a couple of years ago. I would have been a bit more selfish about things. So off the back of my last relationship and writing the type of album I've just done, I feel like that's making a step in the right direction, I think. That was a long-winded answer, I'm sorry.
No, please. Do you think being selfish back then was safer? Because you're kind of, going based on the model of how to write a successful love song, as opposed to taking more risks and telling a different story?
I assume you probably do it subconsciously. There's no way I would ever go down and sit down and go, I'm so selfish, I'm going to write everything about me here. But you probably do it subconsciously, and probably try and fit the mold of what a love song is, which is usually, I'm so sad, you horrible bastard, what did you do to me? You know what I mean? Like, it's usually that's the mold. So I felt like just kind of trying to change things up a little bit, and just personally as well. I feel like off the back of the relationship, you learn so much about yourself. You don't realize you do until you sit down and you try and write songs about it. And you're like, fucking hell, maybe I'm not as selfish as I used to be.
Yeah, because it's an opportunity for you to really dive in deep and analyze yourself and put those thoughts to paper. Is there a song from this album that you're pumped to share your kids one day? And that's a weird question, but it got me thinking, like, being 65 and you having children. Like, what from this album do you want to play them?
I think Black and White. I think Black and White, to me, it's one of those songs that if it wasn't my song, I would love it. And I would absolutely listen to it all the time. And I still do. I've got no problem saying that. I sound like my own biggest fan, but I've listened to these songs every day since I've written them, since I wrote them, I mixed them, I did everything. And Black and White's the one that I listen to constantly. Because it's just got that, like, nostalgia feeling. It feels like it could have come from any era. It's 4 on the floor. It's a driving song. It feels good. The lyric is happy. Yeah, exactly.
Dude.
When we're 65, I always knew. So I think that's the right kind of thing to be playing to your grandkids or your kids or whatever.
It sounds like a forever song to me. It's beautiful.
I hope so.
Well, Niall, tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day. What are you going to do?
Nothing. I just seen Boris Johnson on the news, and they've closed all the pubs. So that's us doing nothing. They'd already closed the pubs in Ireland as well, so that was off the charts. So not much. To be honest, St. Patrick's Day, like most holidays in America, is huge. Like in America, Americans make all the little holidays into a much bigger deal. In Ireland, we don't really need another excuse to go to the pub.
We do. Yeah. We need excuses to escape. So we adopt other people's cultures and we blow it up and we attach cards to it and maybe a T-shirt or two. And we hate our own reality.
A parade.
A parade to celebrate something that isn't even ours. It's amazing.
It's not as crazy in Ireland, but it's obviously one of our national holidays. So we do celebrate it to some extent. But this time, with all that's going on in the world, it's probably best that we don't.
Totally. By the way, stay inside. When you stay inside, it means saving lives. So fill your time by listening to Heartbreak Weather by Niall Horan.
Well, I wanted to also...
Exactly, people. You heard him here.
I also wanted to ask, what's going on with the tour? Is that still happening?
Yeah, to be honest, no, I don't know. It's all right now. It is, but I haven't heard. My agent is an agent to a few people, and they're also going on tour, and their tours have been cancelled so far. So hopefully we can hold on to mine. I don't know. You've seen it there. It's completely out of all of our hands, and you just have to wait. Go day by day and see what happens. But I mean, I'll be gutted. I've been planning the tour forever, and the rollout of my album wasn't how I wanted. So if the tour gets cancelled too, I'll be very upset. But we'll see what happens.
The tour will be postponed, if anything. We can't say canceled. Don't use the C word. Not in this house.
That's true. Sorry.
Please, because I'm really excited for this tour. It's you. It's Louis Capaldi. It's Fletcher. It's an incredible lineup. It's going to be a fucking amazing show. Sorry for my language. I'm just excited. It's a night of real music, and that's what excites me the most. And by the way, this entire album filled with real, actual instruments. It's pretty special. So please listen. It's rare, dude. I don't want to say that. I don't want to.
I know. That's why I'm
Come
laughing.
on.
Oh, God. I love your honesty. Brilliant.
Yeah, I appreciate you very, very deeply. Final thoughts from anybody for Niall Horan? Anybody?
I mean, I get a lot of country vibes from a lot of the songs on this album. Is that something that you're trying to explore more? I get like twangy kind of country guitar in certain parts.
That's so funny. Everybody says that to me, and I don't realize that I'm doing it. And I'm not going to complain because I absolutely love country, and clearly because it's in my subconscious. I'm Irish. It all derives from Irish Cayley music, and I naturally sing in the country tone with some people I write with. Some pop writers sometimes I write with get pissed with me because I come out with the most bluesy sounding melodies and rocky and country, twangy, folky type sounding stuff, and they're just that, a bit more poppier. And I kind of do it without even knowing. And then the guitar obviously follows, but I'll take it because I love country.
How do you deal with producers that want to make it a little bit more popular? Is there a middle ground that you have to reach with these guys, or is it really just this is what naturally comes and this is how it's going to be?
Yeah, to be fair, I do pick my producers in terms of I know that they're not going to do that to me before I even go into the room, just based on what they've done previously. With Julian and stuff, we work so well together. I would never worry about that. Because when we write, we play live. Same with Greg. I was working with Greg Kirsten. There was he's the most musical guy of all time, so it was never going to get too far. I mean, I'm not trying to ever rebel because I absolutely love pop music, but I like to put my own spin on it. And you need really musical people in the room to do that,
Hell yeah. By the way, I love seeing the writers on Black and White. You got Scott Harris, you have Teddy, Julian Bonetta. Yeah. Holy And that video that somebody shared, maybe Teddy shared it the other day. It was so cool. You guys singing in the studio.
Yeah, I had that. That was from when we wrote it, and I loved in the video that I had that video on my phone because I never take any videos or anything in the studio, but I just had a feeling when I was writing that song that it felt so good, so I just put the video up. But in the video, you can hear like the bridge doesn't have any lyrics on it, and it's just been me shouting into a microphone, which I thought was really cool because fans are always asking me how I write songs all the time, and I thought that was a good idea because it was just a load of chords and jammy guitars and big drums, and I was just singing over it, random gobbledygook. But yeah, really cool video, good song, love it.
Yes, Daniel?
Well, Niall, I wanted to ask, July 23rd, 2020, do you know what that is?
My birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, Niall, do you know what that day is?
Dan.
Is it a tour date?
No, that is One Direction's 10-year anniversary.
Sorry. He has an Instagram countdown set up already.
No, I just saw people are excited. Do you have anything planned? I guess not. You didn't even know it was coming up.
I knew it was in July, but I didn't know what day it was. That's crazy that you know that. No, there's nothing. We've got nothing planned. I'm sure we'll meet up. But yeah, there's nothing planned for it.
I'll send you like a basket of goodies and maybe an edible arrangement depending on where you are. Hopefully on the road by then because the tour is happening. Heartbreak Weather, totally worth your time. Please listen. Not Horn.
Thank you, team.
I appreciate you, man.
Thank you, people. Love you all. I'll see you very soon.
Sending love right back.
Oh wait, one more quick question. Are you writing a bunch of songs while you're stuck home, or what are you doing? What are you gonna do for 2 weeks?
Yeah, I am actually. I wrote 2 songs yesterday while watching a show called The Pharmacist on Netflix.
Oh,
it's very easy to sit around and like I find myself like there's a piano in my living room. I just find myself just walking over to it every 5 minutes because I can't sit still. But I just closed the curtains and just played a few tunes and wrote something half decent, I think, yesterday.
Beautiful. Who do you send it to even get an assessment of half decent, or do you keep it to yourself?
I mean, these are still very early. I mean, it could be the worst. I'll have to have a listen again and reassess. And then I'll probably just send it to Julian because Julian will be able to make a track within about 5 seconds. And then I'll have a better idea of where we're at with it. But as far as piano and vocals go, I just record it on my laptop on Pro Tools and then, yeah, hope for the best in terms of if it's good enough.
A hit, birthed during the quarantine. See, use this free time as productive time, everybody. Who knows? I believe Shakespeare wrote King Lear.
I want to learn Spanish as well.
Hey, by the way, what is more valuable in life than having the skill of a second language? I think nothing, Horan. If you can learn Spanish.
Well, I can barely speak English, so I'm going to try Spanish.
Slow and steady wins the race. I'm sending love and appreciation your way, man. Thank you for giving us time and energy. And
maybe your next album will be a Spanish album.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah. Probably not, but it's worth a laugh anyway.
Never say never. Hey man, thanks for hanging out with us. It really means a lot. Thank you.
Stay safe.
See you later, guys. Thank you very much.
Peace and love. Bye. Hi, beautiful human. I'm sending a lot of love to you, to your family, your friends. Yeah, this is my home studio. I just set it up. We're working on some really cool interviews. They're going to be coming up very soon. Also, I'm working on throwing a big event just for you. But until then, I'm going to keep you fed. I promise. Okay, here are my favorite moments from one of my favorite human beings, Liz Gillies. But first, I got to tell you about ASU. If you're considering going back to school, you should ask yourself the following questions. Do you need the flexibility to take classes on your schedule? Do you, Lou? Do you have college credits that you need transferred? Do you want to earn a quality degree from a world-renowned university? If you answered yes to any of those questions, beautiful human, ASU could be the school for you. ASU is legit, okay? We're talking about 200 highly ranked degree programs done 100% online. You do it all on your schedule whenever you want to do it. If you want more information, text Zach to 35517. That is Zach to 35517. You can learn more about ASU. Learn to grow, learn to succeed, and learn to thrive at Arizona State University. Find out why 87% of ASU grads get recruited for jobs within 90 days of graduation. Here's my favorite moments of Liz Gillies. Love you.
Let's do this. Zach
We have to celebrate.
I just have to have champagne here.
Yeah. By the way,
so funny. Did anyone? It's like, where'd you come up with that idea? or did I tell you I wanted to drink the next time I came?
that was not expected. That was too quick.
So was it too quick?
That's what she said.
Yep.
That release.
He
was,
wouldn't know. So.
Wow, that just
Was
made
that your
me
first
sweat.
time popping champagne?
Dude, like but usually like it's in there and it takes a little bit of nudging before it pops.
That's what she said.
And this just
Again, he wouldn't know.
exploded. Wow.
All right, well, pour it. Let's get on.
Congratulations on
Thank you.
Dynasty. Seriously, come on.
Thank you. Before we start, I just want to clear the air with Zach because you stood me up over Christmas.
Ooh, what'd you do?
You stood me up over Christmas. We were both in New Jersey, a rarity. And we were supposed to hang out a couple times, not a big deal. I just know that if I don't get this off my chest now, I'm not gonna be able to look at him or talk to him. Like I hugged him when he came in. And then my family invited him to like a gorgeous set menu, like 7-course meal. But you didn't know that part. But it shouldn't have mattered. If we went there, we went to, a pizzeria. Anyway, he said he was coming up until 20 minutes before. When I had it was like it wasn't like a funny reservation. It was like a very much like they printed menus for everybody. And he says, "I'm sorry, I can't make it out." Then I look on Twitter and it says location Manhattan. So what did you come in the city for that was better than seeing my family? And then I tweeted, "You better be getting laid," because that I thought, in that case,
That's the
please.
Yeah, we know that's not happening.
So what was it?
I really should have come, and I feel like a fool for having canceled.
Zach, what were you doing?
I had like nothing important.
Zach, what were you doing?
I was with my friend, and she. I thought that she needed more
Just
time.
I don't
Say it.
care. You know what? I don't care. It's too long of an answer.
No, it's not the right answer because I should have just come because ultimately I ended the other plans I thought were going to run over. They didn't run over and I should have came and I felt like an imbecile. But then I thought that I had already canceled. I should have come and I feel bad because one, regardless of the food, your family is amazing.
Yeah, they loved you.
Loved.
They did. Like they always thought so highly of you.
And now.
Yeah, it's fine. It's different. Like it's a different dynamic now. It's a different 2020 will bring you new feelings with my family, but it's okay. I just wanted to know what you were doing. Clearly, it wasn't important.
But
now, as long as you regret it,
I very much regret it. And know something because now there's a lot of decent sized events coming up.
Zach, you're panicking.
You said a lot of nothing.
I feel really bad because I love your family on another level, and I really should have come. And I was very stupid, and that's my big regret.
Who would have
from
come
the
if
holiday.
it was Ariana and her family?
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm not mad. It's how it is, and it's okay. I get it. The Gillies don't do that for you, and it's fine. It's okay. It's actually totally fine. I'm actually totally over it. I'm really glad we got to talk this out. How was your Christmas break?
Jade West.
Okay.
How long was it before we dropped that name?
What? Jade West? I guess when you have other names you can drop of work you've done, sometimes it comes out naturally. I understand if it doesn't come out naturally for other people when it's their first series.
You take on a character for so long, it's a part of you.
I guess when you've done as much TV as I have, it just kind of pours out. But yeah, that happens. Anyway, cool. I sound like Seth Rogen. Amazing. So basically, that wasn't her. Don't touch me. That wasn't her. And then
Good vibes only, Liz. What does the pillow say?
Dynasty season 1 is officially wrapped.
I want a tail. What?
What would you do with the tail?
Just like drape it over my shoulder or wear it as a scarf or tie my grocery bags to it so I could just drag them home.
That's efficient.
What wouldn't I do with a tail?
That's what Jasper does.
I feel like we'll evolve into that one day.
I feel like my voice is upsetting Jasper. I have not a good voice. It's low and raspy and scary, and I feel like maybe I don't know. I just want to impress Jasper. It's okay, whatever. I'm just
she's not
impressed at all right now.
She's not having you.
Nor should she be. I wouldn't be.
No, when are we getting a Liz album?
Not soon. Not soon.
Why?
I don't. You want to write it with me? Like I don't know.
You don't want me to write that?
Why?
I'm not good at that.
Oh.
I feel like you guys could do something together.
We wrote a song.
We wrote a song.
We wrote two. Mom and her best friend Diane.
No, we wrote the other one.
Life is hard and it doesn't get better until you meet the boy you love. Boys come in all different shapes and sizes, all different ages, new surprises. Who will I find? Who will he be? Will he have the same beard as Daddy? Will his beard tickle when I kiss him? And when he leaves me, will I miss him? Wow. It's
I love it.
We shot a short where I play a young girl named Victory Clark Dugan, and she is my mother,
Guys,
Beverly
so
Clark Dugan. We get hot in here. And that's the song that we sing at the end while we're driving into the sunset.
Loved it.
Yeah,
I'm looking
like it.
forward to seeing that.
it's great.
That's really.
New album right now.
For real, tears. When I show people, tears in their eyes.
Yeah.
That's how you know.
People love
Because we
Victory
did it
Clark
and spent
Dugan.
time on it.
We spent a lot.
And then people cry because we did that.
I have a lot of sex scenes. I do. But you don't on CW it's not they're not like sex scenes. They're not like
They're
you can't
sexy
do
scenes.
so many things. You can't see an ass crack and a butt cheek can't move. There can be no thrusting. You can't moan. You can't breathe weird. Like it's so you're basically just like Ken and Barbie. Or my favorite. I had to do this the other day. Post coital, like I just don't do anything. I was with Adam and he did it. So he's like, and I was just like, I think I went, like that was the best I could come up with. And I was just like, I don't know what I was like. What am I? Wow! Oh my God!
No, that's.
When have you ever? I'm not like. When have you ever been like, whoa, gee whiz, after you have sex? Like they play it up. I know it happens, but really it happens in a very subtle way. And then maybe you go like order food or you go to sleep. You know, on TV, it's like this whole like you fall back into bed and you're like out of breath for like the whole scene. Like, and why no one even has? Why would you have a complicated conversation right after you have sex too? It doesn't add up. So I'm trying to get that taken out of movies and TV. That's going to be my charity. It should be about the Australian wildfires, but it's about that.
You've been looking for a mission?
That's it. I found it. It's that. No, it's just so funny. It just makes me laugh so much. I just think it's the silliest thing in the world.
I thought that was a very Fallon sex noise. Very judgmental, but also satisfied. You know?
Not on the phone. It would be this.
Yeah.
No, it's good. I loved it. It was fun. Yeah, thank you. It was so fun. You can go now. That's what it would be. That's like the real life.
Dan, is this
version.
your reality? Do you feel like you've heard these noises?
No, Dan makes pancakes. He has them sleep over and he makes them flapjacks in the morning. And you melt the butter before you put it on the pancakes.
Are you
so it's all
interested?
perfect.
Are you interested?
No, I'm okay, but I'm just guessing what your life is. Finish sharing. Sorry, I forgot there was a monkey here. You've been so quiet. Oh, I want your life.
Do you want you can feed her a grape. She can come and hang
May
out
I?
by you.
Not that I don't want to talk about the show. It's just
There's a monkey in the room
next to me. That never happens. I can do both at the same time.
I assume you've never worked with a monkey or an animal.
I've never worked. Oh, it's okay. Come to me. I'll be your rock. You don't own any. You use all overhead lighting.
But
Oh, no. I turn the flashlight on my phone on, and then if you put it over like a clear cup with water, it lights up the room. That's when you need it. Other than that, I just don't use lights.
That's. Are you on like Raya or like Bumble?
No. Should I?
You should say, Dan. Don't even worry about a last name. I don't use lights. / I don't believe in light. And like say like Man of Darkness or something at Man of Darkness.
See, it's mysterious. Now you're interested.
I don't think I'm interested. I'm horrified. That's so. I love dark. No one loves dark more than that. I love dim lighting. I love warm lighting. Like this, it's fine. We'll see how it looks when it comes out. But
You'll
it's
probably
really
complain.
fine. Yeah, I'll probably complain. But you know what? I came in here looking how I look. So at the end of the day, what am I going to say to you guys? You know, change my face? That's on me. That's on me and my wallet if I feel like going there. Someone said to me the other day, "You want to die?" I was doing this thing, and they're gonna know who they are because it's a very specific thing. But I was getting a mold done of my face for something, like for prosthetics things. You know, I've had to do this weirdly a lot now. And they're like, "No, make all kinds of faces." They're like, "Yeah, all kinds of faces. Yeah, stretch your face." I was just like, "I know it's hard with the Botox," and I literally was like, "You know it's hard with the Botox," and I was like, And so then I made the most distorted, like, to prove. So I just fucked myself. Like, I made the most, like, Jim Carrey. Like, my eyebrow was, like, up here. I was so pissed. I was like, because I'm really one of the, like, last. And if I had Botox, I would come on here and drink water, let it spill out of my mouth. Oh, my God, it'd be the funniest thing in the world. I would own it. I don't care. I don't give If I came in here, I got my boobs done, I'd be like, check this out. Jack, punch them. It would be funny. I got nothing. So when it's like calling your kid at like, oh, you're such a drunk in high school when he hasn't had his first drink yet. He's like, wow, then maybe I should just go, if that's what you think of me, maybe I should just go do it.
But is it not a compliment that you look so good?
I stay out of the sun. See, I don't believe in natural light. That's just interesting. I was just having this conversation with my friend, and I see how and why people get friend zoned.
Because when you're so quick to be kind, it's easily taken for granted. There's like...
So you really do feel like in the dating world, I know why I'm looking at you, I know you don't date, but in the dating world, you have to, yeah, well, keep waiting. I've been waiting forever. You'll have a wizard's beard by the time I ever consider it. Anyway, I think, I forgot what I was saying. I imagined a wizard's beard. And I was kind of like, word.
You kind of liked it, right?
That's not bad. I was like, I can see how it would work out. With a curl at the bottom.
Yeah.
It has to.
You could tug on it.
What the pass. Hard pass. I want to know everything. I said, I want to know what they said. They said, oh, they went a different direction. I'm like, no. I want to know what they said. They're like, they said, your hairline is off center. You came in with a weird attitude. You this, you that. What's happening?
Dog's
Oh,
throwing
honey.
Oh,
What's he doing?
He's vomiting.
It's all right.
Oh, baby boy.
Poopy head.
Oh, there it is.
I told you his stomach was making funny noises.
Here, Liz, you want to clean that up?
Clean it up. The am I, your maid? Out of your goddamn mind.
Are you gonna do it, Dan?
I have nothing to say. I have no impression.
There's no way that I left here and you didn't talk shit about me one time when I stayed here editing a video for like 6 hours.
I absolutely talked
There's
about that.
There's no way. What did you say?
The first thing Zach said, Liz is coming, and I said, Keith, good luck with that. You can deal with it this time.
Oh,
She wants the angles, the lighting, the camera, the editing.
I don't want to make out with you right now.
She'll be.
Does anyone else?
No one's ever talked to me like that.
You just made Dan's dream. The
I
fact that
know.
you
Like
even
we
said
learned a
that-
lot today. It's like it really hates me.
I think he
Can
likes
you hold
you.
down your cough button so no one has to hear your voice for the rest of the day?
I think he likes you because you put me in my place.
I do enjoy when Liz comes in.
You know what I mean? Like he just
You're
likes,
so defensive. I feel like you like practice in the mirror. Like if I see her, like I'm gonna get it off my chest.
Just tell her I have so much build up. I just gotta let you know.
Are you gonna do an impression for me? Do somebody.
You do a good Zach Sang.
You can do me. I'll give you the permission to do me.
I don't want to do. I'm just not in the mood. If I feel it coming, like as we're talking, unless you want me to get out of here. If this is our wrap up moment,
No, it's
tell me now.
not.
Okay.
No. What goal do you have for Fallon season 4?
I don't know, man. She becomes a man. Maybe wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah, that's really mixing it up.
No, you know what? Season 4. Let's set a goal right now. We got time. I can lay in some favors. Season 4.
Manifest. This is the moment.
No, I don't have the Madison Brown skill of manifestation. I don't think I can make it happen. I don't know. I'll think of something good. I have things in the works. I have a lot of things I plan to do with my life. This is just, I'm kind of coasting right now, but never really resting. Always thinking of the next thing. Just finding that I do work 9 months out of the year, so I'm just finding the time for the next thing.
Got it.
And then it'll happen. I know everyone's very disappointed in me. I should be doing more.
What?
No matter what you're working on, they go, what's your next thing? I say, well, we just got picked up in after that. Doesn't matter.
Music.
I write music all the time. I just don't put it out. I write probably 3 songs a month.
Do you record them?
No, they're voice memos.
I want to hear your songs from your voice memos.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah. That's just like, and that's not even, that's rough. And there's no drums. Like, you have to imagine it with drums. There's another one that's like, hey, yeah, hey, yeah. But that's just for the chorus. It's like for the...
I can't wait for those to come out.
Yeah. Def Jam. Can you believe? That's what I'm signed with.
Shut up.
Well, the rest is rap.
When you get the script for this project, when you're reading it for the first time, is there any part of you that is like, maybe this isn't the right move? Maybe this
No,
is a little bit
zero.
too fast.
No, I thought when I was done with Nickelodeon, I was like, that was so much fun. People are gonna be casting me so much right now. I was so good on that show. Let's just sit by the phone. Cut to me in my basement playing Sims for 18 hours in the same sweater during like Hurricane Sandy week. Just like,
the thing is, she's not lying.
I'm not lying. Cut to my great grandma of 98 being like, she needs to go out and get drunk and maybe have a one night stand because this is killing us. Because I was in their basement because I thought that their basement setup, my
safer?
grandma's was just a better. When you're like a gamer, like I'm really into The Sims. If someone has
I don't think people who play The Sims are gamers.
If there's a better like environment to play, if you feel it, like.
Okay.
There were no windows.
That's perfect.
There were no lights. There was one light, like an old lamp.
You don't need that.
And the door shut, up
Good.
stairway. Like, it was so I was like, this is great.
Won't look at me, won't look at me, won't look at me. You mean everything to me.
Oh my God.
Look,
She's too busy eating the other grape.
it's okay. I don't need to hand it. I know what it's like not to be loved, so this isn't unusual. For me, it's not a new sensation.
So, not Matt Bennett? I can't believe he
We
turned
all
that down.
hung out in Atlanta. That's right.
Yeah.
I barely saw you. That was crazy, right?
Yeah, it was wild because you were working. I had to work from Atlanta, and the show was unbelievable.
It was crazy.
To be in the audience that night, it was like a tiny little Victorious reunion. It was Liz, it was Matt, it was Ari, Dan Schneider was there, Bernie Sanders was there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the regular,
Just the crew.
breakfast bunch.
Just the normal.
It was really fun. I had never, ever sang or performed for an audience that size before. I think it was 20. Was it 20,000 or something?
Something like that.
I'm not saying that now. Like, was it 20,000? I literally don't know the number. I think it was 20,000.
Yeah, give that a goog.
It's okay. It's really not that important.
Yeah,
There were a lot of people that we don't care. It was a lot of people. There were a lot of people, and we had like a 20-minute sound check, and I went in there and they put. I had never used in-ears before, so they put the in-ears in. And then I was like, I can't hear anything. I can't hear anything. And then she's like, it's okay. You're going to hear me, and you're going to hear like a click, and you can hear a little of the track. And so I couldn't hear. It's a trip because, everyone has their own cocktail that they put in there. I don't have a preference because I've never used them before. I've only ever sung with monitors or amps. I usually, when I sing jazz or whatever, it's, maybe thousands, but low thousands, and or
Not an arena.
no, and there's a delay,
Yeah.
and you can't hear the screaming, and you hear yourself like you're in a recording studio, and it was like an acid trip. I've never done acid, but I assume it's the exact same feeling as performing at the State Farm Arena for the first time and singing "Give It Up," a song
So
you
beautiful.
sang when you were 15 the last time. The two of us, it's such a hard song. So I came out there. And then I saw Matt with his guitar because he did I Think You're Swell. I was like, what is going on? This is so crazy. And then I saw him, and then I gave him a look like an earnest moment between us because we really don't have those very often. I gave him like a hug, but neither of us could hear each other because we had the things, and we were like, what? And then I went up, and then Ari's super chill, and she doesn't like move a ton all the time, and that's because
so
she's
natural.
smart.
Yeah.
I walked out there hopping, which is something I make fun of my dad for doing. My dad like hops all the time when he dances, and I'm like, Dad, oh my God, stop. And I walk out there and I start doing this dumb hop thing. As if I'm at a children's birthday party in a mascot costume. And then I'm like, oh. And then it's just like, it never ends. That sounds like, oh, I don't get what you want. I was like, who wrote this? Who wrote this? Why is this happening? What are we doing right now? This is so crazy. And then she's chilling. She's just like, it's chill.
Yeah.
It's calm. I'm like, I'm so calm for me. I'm freaking out. So it was good. It totally worked out by the grace of God.
It was so
But it's crazy. If you listen to the last
phenomenal.
note, my breath left my body because I was going off of the same one breath as before I walked on the stage because I was hopping the whole time, which I still don't get why I was doing that. So I was like, good night. And then I went away, and then I go, yeah. And then I literally, she goes like this. She goes, and then I was like, I don't know what that was. And then we hugged, and I went backstage. And I was like, does anyone have a video, and can I listen to the last note? And then I would listen to it back. I go, yeah. So literally a spirit inhabited both of our bodies, and it was something else. I don't know what happened. It was like Satan's voice came through me.
There's an isolated recording of that somewhere.
Yeah, I've heard it. It's good.
You like it?
It's good.
I thought it was so great.
It's good. It's
It was
crazy.
a special moment. Dan hates birthdays. You love birthdays.
That means
That's
you
why we're
probably
a
had a
match
bad
made in heaven.
experience.
Whoa.
Wait, what?
Oh my God! First of all, when my mouth is moving into the microphone and talking, you shut up.
Thank
Sounds
You
fun.
Next is a big video, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't get invited to that set, but look
Yeah.
at you.
That was very hectic, though. I flew in for that, and then this is the most embarrassing thing. So I wake up the day of the video. I had to fight tooth and nail with production to let me go. I was like, it's a big deal, and they were like, but Dynasty, and I was like, I know, but also maybe this video, please, and then maybe it would be good because eyes and. Then back to Dynasty, and they're like, oh, maybe, yeah, okay, we'll make it happen. So I went there, and then I woke up on the day, and I landed, and I kind of my chin was kind of hurting. I was like, oh, weird. Probably getting a pimple. Annoying, but they'll edit it out. I don't care. And then I was like, oh, it really hurts. This is so crazy. It really, really hurts. And then I was like,
Oh, no.
I can't move my mouth or my bottom of my face. This is not fun. This is really weird. So then I wake up the day of the video at 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm supposed to be there at 9. And I was like, I need to go to the dermatologist because I was like, I couldn't talk. It was huge. It was so bad.
Wait, it was a pimple?
No, you have to wait. It's really crazy. So now I look deformed at this point. I look horrible. I'm not going to be in the video because I look like, I'm not insulting Jay Leno, but he has a bigger chin and I look more like him, but not even that because it was off to the side.
So
It was off to the side. So my
one-sided
face
chin.
was I just looked horrible, worse than usual. And none of my dermatologists, they were like, hey, we can fit you in next spring. I was like, cool. It's good to know how important I am in LA, that's the call I make and that's the answer I get. That's awesome. Thank you so much. And then I call, you have no idea, I was desperate. I was Googling celebrity dermatologist Los Angeles. I was like, hello, I'm like, can I miss hello? I pretend to be and Kristen Wiig pretends to be on the plane and she's like, did I miss a gracias? Yeah. And she's pretending to be in first class. Anyway, they didn't help me out. They didn't help me. So I called Joan and I'm like, yo, Joan, if you want me to be in this, please help me. Is there anything you can do? She got me in.
Of course.
Wonderful dermatologist, Dr. Lancer, and I go there and I'm crying. I'm not afraid of pain. I'm really good with pain. I'm always in pain in some way or another. So I'm just whatever, I don't care. But this was so bad. Everyone thought I was being dramatic. And I was like, I don't think this is a pimple. I know a pimple. This is not her. She didn't show up today. She's brought a friend and I don't know what this is. So he immediately, before he goes, who are you? And I was like, ah. And then he comes in and he was super fast and efficient. And he stuck a needle in my chin immediately because he's like, let me just see. And then blood poured out. Oh. So that was red flag number one. I was like, no, girl, I wish. I'm not going to get into the details of my visit because it was really gory and horrible. It was a spider bite that led to a staph infection. What? So he said, you can't fly tonight. You shouldn't have flown yesterday. You shouldn't do the video shoot if you want to try, but you can't wear makeup. So I was like, thank you, doctor. Thank you so much. I immediately leave there, pack it with makeup, go to the video shoot. And I'm like, hey guys, what's going on? Let's do this thing. And it's mostly edited out for most of the video. She did hook me up. They fixed most of it, but there are a couple shots where I'm like, I don't know why I'm blowing up my spot now. I totally got away with it.
I gotta go watch that again.
No, don't. It's good. It's fine now. But it was crazy. But no one told Ari, so I get there and I was like, yo, Ari, I have a situation. She's like, wait, what's going on? I was like, Ari, I have a spider bite. And it was just so overwhelming. So they took care of it. But it was all that in a bag of chips. It was pretty horrifying.
And now look at you,
But they told me a week later, by the way, that it was a staph infection. So I get home, they're like, we got those test results back. I was like, test results? And they're like, it's staph. At this point, I have a perfect chin, healed, ready to shoot, a D-list cover. and then no. So then I had to take all these pills.
Any part of you
got really skinny, and then I gained it all back when I got back to LA for the holidays. Ugh. I've had a month.
Any part of you surprised that people really thought you were Lindsay Lohan?
No. Let me tell you why, because I've been dealing with it my whole life. No, people, I also got articles that were like, who is this Lindsay Lohan lookalike? And can you hire her for your birthday party? I was like, God, I know, yeah. I'm not Jennifer Lawrence, but I've been in a couple things and I've been doing this for 15 years. I love it. They're like, we break down our theories as to who this alien who looks like Lindsay Lohan might be, and does she work at your local UPS store? Coming soon. I was like, this is not cool. But then Lindsay tweeted, that was so crazy that she Instagrammed.
Nuts. I mean,
I'd probably be pissed if it was if I woke up every morning and there was some weird thing in the news and it wasn't me and it was someone else, and then
She shows respect, and by the way, if she was
actually
asked,
she messaged me a while ago, about a year ago.
Whoa.
Yeah, saying she liked the show, that she loved Dynasty, and that I was going to ask her to be on Dynasty, but then I responded too late, and we didn't end up connecting because I'm really bad with messages. Like I'll read it and be like, oh my god, oh, and then I'll remember like a month later, oh, you should respond to that, and by that time people are like
moved on.
So yeah, that didn't happen.
What was it like meeting Joan Crawford?
Joan Crawford?
Yeah.
Poor baby.
Wait,
I actually
what's her name?
can't. I'm nervous. My face isn't making the face I want right now. But you have to understand what a massive, colossal fail that is.
Wait, how bad is
Joan
it?
Crawford. I want you to. No one
Who
say.
did
No
you-
one say anything. Go online and Google a picture of Joan Crawford.
Gosh darn it.
And I don't want to.
Wait, she's
This is
not
what we
in
deal
it.
with every day.
I mean, you understand that that's a bad one, right? Even. I mean, like we
Jasper
get it.
gets it?
Jasper. Joan Crawford. Are you getting this? Jasper. Joan Crawford.
Oh, sister's dead. She died in 1977.
Thank you. Do you even know who Joan Crawford is? That's a whole other show. It's a whole other lesson. I met Joan Collins.
That's it. I'm so sorry. But she was in the original Dynasty. I saw you guys at...
Joan Crawford wasn't.
No.
Because of the whole died in the 70s. She couldn't make it. She almost did, but she was busy.
You type in Liz Gillies lesbian, and a lot of weird things come up.
That I buy. How many did you create? Is this your blog? Can I see?
his
Are these your
Instagram
Photoshop?
page.
It's my Tumblr.
Oh. While he's doing that, is there another question?
It's a lot of money.
Excuse me?
It's a lot of money.
Maybe I'm making it. Shut up.
It's a lot of money.
He's roasting you.
He's being fresh.
He always is.
You wore like the hot guy white tee today.
I
You're like-
always wear the white tee.
Oh.
In warm pajamas.
But thank you for calling me the hot guy. I appreciate that.
No, I said you were wearing the hot guy white tee. Like that's the brand of the shirt.
A lot of people want you to give him a spanking. That was a rather large
Yeah,
Twitter
Oh yeah, I
request.
was on some trip last year where I was like, I have to be good and I can't do these things. That's fine. If you want to come over here, Matt, and I will take care of a cheek each.
a cheek each.
Do you want to go?
Keep me out of it. I don't.
It's fine.
Do we want to do a Victorious reunion one day?
Absolutely. I think we should do it sooner than later because the 10-year anniversary is coming up.
It is coming up. Is it 2020 that it's here?
Mm-mm.
When is it?
2019.
How?
I made that up. Was that not right?
I thought it was 2020.
No, it's 2019. Can you look up Victorious?
Premiere dates?
Victorious Nickelodeon IMDb. Can you just type? It's actually Victorious VICTOR.
Victorious.
Yeah.
First episode date, March 27th, 2010.
Well, Oh, I know what it is. They're doing it from when we were thinking of when we shot
Oh.
the pilot.
But here's the deal. It takes a long time to prepare something like this. Scheduling, everything.
Well,
Do we want to do something?
I can't say I'm available, but I want to. Like I'm literally not available because I'm working, but I want to. So I'm down,
Okay.
pending my availability.
Even though you fly every weekend.
Yeah,
And you want
yes,
the
I could make an
files.
exception for sure. I could do it. Yeah.
If we handled your flight and you got the miles, would you be in?
Oh yeah, for Miles. Oh yeah. I'll do it for Miles. I'll do anything for Miles.
I love that.
That'll be the headline tomorrow. They'll think I'm dating a boy named Miles. She'll do anything for Miles, they say. No, just the Miles, the Sky Miles. Yeah, let's do it. And you should be the guy to do it because you've known us for the longest and you can ask the darkest questions that nobody knows about.
It would be.
I think it should be fun. I think we should eat pizza and drink, and I think it should be loose. I don't think it should be live. Not that loose. But I do think that it should happen. I don't think you should come.
I would ask the real good questions.
What you haven't asked me one good question in the last 4 interviews I've been. You asked me one good question years ago.
What was it?
It wasn't that good. But what do you have any questions for me now?
I mean, he's covered most of it.
No.
Dan, this is your chance.
This is your chance. Justify your position. Claim your paycheck. Remind me why you're here.
Okay, you guys talk for a second. Let me think. Get back to me.
Did you send him in the meetings to close the deals with that attitude? Come on now. This is it.
By the way, it would be the greatest honor of my life to be a
Yes,
part of
it
that
would.
reunion. It totally would.
Yeah, I know it would.
I feel very connected, obviously, to all of you because of a genuine, real friendship, but also the show. So thank you for even.
I like the part when you when you said genuine, real friendship. It was funny. You're funny. No, it would be great. And I think that we should do it at the location. We should do it at a weird location.
Anywhere. You pick. A cabin in the woods.
I'm picking it's going to be like some kennel with lots of Frenchies. It's going to be dirty and strange.
What if we go on a safari?
No, I don't want to do that.
You scared of giraffes?
No, it just sounds like work, and I just don't want to do it right now.
I
want to go somewhere easy.
A lot of miles, though, flying to Africa.
Damn it, you got me there.
I drove next to him once in Beverly Hills. I was in my Toyota Corolla.
Oh, baby, that's a sad story. We don't tell people that.
He was in his Aston Martin.
You drive a Toyota Corolla?
Yeah, I tried to scream from my car to him, and he
one of my
ignored me.
first little child lovers drove a Toyota Corolla.
Bad memories?
One of your child lovers?
That's not as bad. I was like 14. I think he was 18.
What?
Yeah. I made out in a Toyota Corolla a few times.
Oh, wow.
With
Did he pick you up from the schoolyard? Or?
You
went
were
to school
underage?
with the kid.
Oh, wow.
I was 18. I haven't thought about that in like 6 years. What's in the champagne? No, I don't. It's fine. The flashback. What color is your Corolla? Have I been in it? You used to have a, what's it called? You used to have a Mini Cooper.
Yeah. You spent many days in the Mini Cooper. And then you had a Mini Cooper for a second. And apparently it was the worst car you've ever been in.
That's correct.
Yeah.
What are you driving nowadays?
What was that?
What are you driving nowadays?
Oh, I'd be a little smart ass. That's cute. I drive. What do I drive?
Bet it's
me insane.
There you go.
working consistently on a hit show.
That's the thing. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Good to be working. You understand how that goes.
And that's the trade-off a little bit. And
sure.
You kind of signed up for that 15 years ago.
I literally signed up for it.
Your parents made you sign a contract?
They didn't make me sign no.
No,
it's like mommy and daddy get in the car and drive me to New York City. They're casting for a redhead and we need to pick up a red wig and be there in 20 minutes. It's for McDonald's. They're like, this is awful.
But that was a trade-off.
I was like, faster. Yeah, had it not been for them, then I would not have, I wouldn't be the person I am today. Maybe I should have listened.
Yeah. Hey, beautiful human, thanks for watching our full interview, but I get it. Like, a full interview is a lot. So we got a clips channel. We don't expect you to watch the full thing anymore, so we just gave you the highlights. Please subscribe and notifications and all that stuff. Okay, cool. I love you. Yo, beautiful humans. I think we have Harry Styles on the phone. Hi.
Hey, man, how's it going?
Oh, it's going, I mean, I'm going to be honest, like, it's going okay. It's not going great.
Yeah.
It's just going okay. So.
Sure. We
right?
understand.
Better days are coming. They're on the way. Mm-hmm. But where we're at right now, It is a little rough. So.
Where are you doing the show from?
I am in West Hollywood right now from my living room. I have slowly been setting up an entire radio studio here.
Great.
And,
we appreciate you entertaining the nation.
You know, we got to keep doing it because, by the way, like, companionship is wanted now more than ever. I believe music and art is required now more than ever. People need escape. I really genuinely believe that. And by the way, Fine Line has been a great, deep escape for me and for my mom. We both listen to it and we discuss rather often. But it's the truth, right?
Thank you so much.
I mean, either you can create the art or you can escape in the art. By the way, Dan's here as well.
What's up, man?
Dan.
Hey, man.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Wow, I love the awkward second introduction. It feels good. It feels right. What's your energy right now, man? Do you have pent up creative energy? Because I know we're holding the European leg of the tour, and I feel I send you love because that is rough. Sorry, my sirens.
I'd say a little pent up, but I think it's been nice for me to kind of not feel any real pressure to like make anything. I think it's kind of a nice moment to just like float a little bit and not feel like, oh, I have to go make an album, and kind of, I guess, creating without context at the moment is kind of nice. Just writing songs because it's fun and because I want to sit and write a song rather than be on a deadline for something. And I think also just taking a moment to think. I think in moments like these, you get a second to sit back and be like, what are you actually doing it for? And what are you making music for? And what are you trying to do? And just like what it means. So I think like enough time to kind of sit and reflect on a lot of things. But yeah, just trying to not get too anxious about the state of the world right now.
But by the way, like that type of creating, like I want to say floating is self-care. It's understanding yourself more. It's getting to know yourself in different ways. It's trying things without pressure or limitations. It is a really cool time to kind of become one with yourself a little bit more and challenge yourself in different ways in the privacy of your own home, right? With nobody else judging you. But in turn, like that stuff could really help you in the future. It's a whole different form of creating.
Yeah, I think anytime you get to kind of, sit and have time to sit and think and learn new things about yourself or yourself in different situations, is a positive thing. And I think for a lot of people, this is them getting a chance to sit and be like, and I guess reevaluate and think about what's really important. I think a lot of people's priorities have probably changed. There's a lot of things that people think are so important, and I think in times like this, when you're kind of reduced, I guess, to the basics, you realize that a lot of that stuff isn't really important at all. And I think right now everyone just craves being around good people they love, and that's kind of it. So, yeah.
Things do realign, right, in times like this, and hopefully sometimes it does work out for the better. Your priorities shift in the proper places. Kindness.
Yeah, I mean, I think it will be an education, and I think it'll become that over a long period of time. I think I think we're all learning a lot right now, and then when we come out the other side of it, I think there's going to be a lot of lessons learned and a lot of lessons to be learned about how we dealt with it and what we need to change going forward. And I think people will be learning from this for a long time.
Everything should be learning. We should be learning from everything we do, and we should have been learning from things that we do for centuries. And most people,
right? Exactly.
What does kindness mean to you? How do you define kindness in your own life?
How do I define it? I'm not necessarily sure. I think in kind of a base level, I guess it comes from just kind of putting somebody else before yourself, and just finding ways to help other people or bring joy to other people or lessen the load of other people. I think just ways in which you can find to, be considerate of others, they're all kind of options. I think there's a lot of different ways you can be kind to people, whether it's subtle or it's a little more direct. I think it's just ultimately about being considerate.
Was there a defining moment when you realized that kindness and the act of treating a stranger and all people with kindness needed to be the fuel behind your art? And it's not but it is a through line, right? Treat people with kindness kind of carries from one album to the next, and it's you.
I think just I think it's more. I guess it's kind of one of those things where I look at people that I look up to, and obviously try and follow their example. And I think the people I've always been most inspired by are those who are nice to people around them, and those who aren't around them. And I think it's just one of those things where you treat people how you want to be treated. And I think the fact of you never know what people are dealing with or going through is actually very true. And you kind of just want to, I don't know, I think you can change somebody's day by being nice to them. And
the simplest gesture.
It's pretty simple to do. So, yeah.
By the way, fine line, an incredible body of work. I know.
Thank you so much.
One of my favorite albums, Dan, for you, it's an album that's big in your life.
I love everything Harry Styles does, to be honest.
Thank you very much. That is very kind. Wonderful interjection.
Thank you. Well, I just wanted to know, when you're at home sitting there, have you gone back and listened to the album at all?
I've listened to the album quite a bit actually. Less so kind of in this quarantine period, because I've just been, I guess, trying to listen to everything I've kind of ever wanted to listen to. I hadn't got around to listening to. But it's kind of one of those things where you hear the album so much while you're making it that you kind of expect that once it's out, you kind of stop listening to it. And I've been really proud, I guess, of the fact that I've enjoyed making the album and I like the music so much that since it's come out, I really enjoy listening to it still, which I hope is just a testament to the fact that I stand behind the music more than anything.
What do you learn about yourself from creating Fine Line and accomplishing your second album?
I think about myself, I guess it's more. I guess a big part of it is it kind of makes me feel like I'm on the right path in terms of what I'm making music for and how I like to make music in terms of the process. I guess a big part of it is when you're making an album, you're kind of constantly second-guessing yourself and questioning yourself about, am I doing this right, and are people going to like this, and do I like this? And I think, I guess with Fine Line, making it and making something that, just because I love it so much, you're always kind of wondering, is that the right path? And I guess when people enjoy it because it's authentic, because it's something that you like so much, I guess it, more than anything, it kind of just cements that that's the right attitude, I guess, to make music with, you know.
It's the right path. Your gut is
right. I guess going forward, it's not about kind of emulating that sound, because I think it's, you know, I'm definitely a big believer in, like, different albums are going to sound different. They're an evolution, and it's kind of moment of what you're feeling at the time. So it's not about recreating a sound, but it's about recreating something, I guess, with the same intention in terms
It's an evolution.
Yeah.
Question: is there a new skill that you unlock as an artist while creating Fine Line that you didn't have before?
I guess I just played a lot more in terms of, like, instruments, and usually that's the time when I improve the most at playing, I guess, is while I'm in the studio and while I'm writing, just because obviously you're at instruments constantly and you're playing instruments constantly. So I definitely see, like, a growth in my own playing when I'm making an album.
I can't thank you enough for keeping real live instruments alive and, I mean, sounding better than ever. Your band is incredible. The musicianship that accompanies you on stage is it's awe-inspiring. It is phenomenal.
Thanks so much, man. I'm very lucky to play with such talented people, and they definitely make me look better. So,
well, I don't know. You bring the best out of each other, dude. You bring the best out of each other.
I appreciate that.
Daniel Zolot, last thought.
Harry, are you gonna do any of the, like, maybe Instagram live concerts or anything like that?
I don't know. I think I'm trying to like, you know, just take a little time to kind of, I guess, deal with what's happening. And trying to create, I guess. But, you know, maybe at some point, but I'm not like sitting at home kind of, it's not the thing I'm like dying to do right now, you know.
Yeah, and the one other question I have to ask, July 23rd, 2020, do you have any big plans for that day?
Not as of right now.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure as of right now, but I'm taking suggestions.
Do you know what that day is?
What was it, July 23rd?
Yes, 2020.
Was it like, I don't know.
That's One Direction's 10-year anniversary.
Oh, wow.
On the calendar, sorry.
Yes, wow.
Crazy.
That's pretty crazy.
God.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know. Will we still be inside?
I don't.
Oh, that's a good
I hope
question.
not. Oh, please.
I know. I'm hoping not. But yeah, that'll be a very emotional day, I'm sure.
hopefully because of One Direction, but also because people will be allowed out to emerge.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
cut,
We'll be
not touch
dancing
each other.
in the street.
That's it. From 6 feet apart, obviously.
Yep.
CDC
Correct.
approved. Hey,
Yes.
I really appreciate you giving us time and energy today, and
No
really,
problem. Thanks so much for having me.
anytime, Harry. I really appreciate you very much, and thank you for creating music. And
Thanks for all the support. I appreciate it.
of course, anytime. Thanks for creating
Thanks
real
for having me.
art and great music. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Stay
love you.
safe and take care. I'll talk to you soon.
Hey y'all, it's Conan Gray, and I just did an interview for the Zach Sang Show, and I talked about my album and all of my deepest, darkest secrets, had a therapy session, talked about my horrible love life. It'll be a good time.
Let's do this. Zach Sang Show.
Hello, beautiful human. We have a lot going on here, but before we start, I got to tell you about Total Wireless. I'm a big fan of Total Wireless. I made the switch, and now is the time to make the switch. You can do it with total confidence. Total Wireless, total confidence. We're going to put a link in the bio if you want to learn more. Sanchez is here. Daniel is here.
Hey.
And I'm so excited to welcome back to the studio Kid Crow.
Hey!
Why am I clapping for myself?
Conan Gray.
Very good, Conan.
Is Kid Crow a title that you go by now?
I wish. No, it's actually just an inside joke that me and my friends have. And it's not even a deep one. It's just that we all have like animals for each other, and I'm a crow.
What?
It's really that simple.
I understand it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like I think I am a crow because I was assigned that via my friends. I trust my friends' judgment of me more than I trust my own judgment of myself. And I think, I tend to be darker, but I don't take life too seriously. I'm not like dark, sad. It's like the music is very sarcastic, and I think it's just me. My childhood was dark enough, so like my adulthood is very like nonchalant. Like, yeah, that hurt. Oh well.
But I feel like a crow is a sarcastic bird.
Exactly. Doesn't that make sense? I think crows are sarcastic birds.
If you type in what does it mean to be a crow in Google, it says crow is a symbol of bad luck and death.
Perfect.
Ooh.
Perfect.
Fitting.
You mentioned
All I'm hearing is that I chose a great title.
You mentioned death on this album.
Oh my God. I talk about dying so much in my music. I'm like, ooh, I hope I die. Like all the time. Also, I'm always like, I hope you die. It's actually my A&R guy at my label counted the amount of times that I said kill and die in my album, and he said I needed to cut them in half.
So do you take that criticism and actually do it?
What do you think, Zach?
No.
No, I did not listen at all. It's all over the album.
When did you know this album was finished?
When my deadline came. Honestly, I think I just wrote so many songs. I was like, Conan, you're not going to squeeze anything out of your ass anymore. Like, you've done enough. It's done. You've written like 200 songs. Whoa. It's enough. And then I just decided to pick the top 12. Yeah.
So how does that work? Like, do you write 200 and then try to weave together a story out of the 200?
It's like a battle. Like we put the our top, as I write them, like this one will like beat out that one, and then we're like, okay, forget that song. Like, I did a better version of that song already. It's kind of like we figured out what I like the most. Also, like what stuck with us over the album. Like, sometimes I'll write a song and I'll like forget about it, and then 3 months later I'll like still be stuck in my head. I'm like, that's actually a pretty good song. Like, maybe it should be on the album. It was a very, very like natural process of like finding what felt the most like me on an album. Because also it's my debut, so I gotta say what I need to say.
Yeah, you gotta. I mean, do you feel pressure to share as much about who you are as possible?
I think people know enough to where like anything I say won't really shock them. But I also think on the album I talk about a lot of stuff that I guess I haven't really talked about much, but also like I've been kind of, I don't know, it is scary because there's a lot that I say on the album that like I'm afraid when people have it that they're gonna like interpret things weird or like be like, oh, Conan Gray is a horrible person or like stuff like that. Whatever, we'll see.
Let's go through some of these records because
You've heard it.
Oh, I've listened to the
You're
album.
Like one of the few people. I'm so excited. I mean, yeah.
I've listened to it like probably 4 or 5 times by now.
Oh my God, I'm so happy.
I'm obsessed.
Thank you.
I listened to it on repeat over the weekend. Listened to it today 2 times. Dan got it late, and he's
both of us got it late.
It was given to us about an hour ago.
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Zach.
Got one full listen through though, so I do have questions.
Okay, good.
We'll get to that.
But we need to know something. It's a secret body of work right now. It is out as we
speak.
Yeah, as we speak. This album is out, so you need to listen to it. let's start. I don't want to cover the songs that are out except for The Story, which is an incredible record, but you end the album with that. So let's start at the bottom. Why is The Story the right way to end your debut?
I think that like the whole album is like chaos. It's all over the place. There's like, it's like love life stuff and like childhood stuff and all this stuff. It's like this big mess. And The Story is the last song where it's like, okay, I know I said a lot on the album and like I know I said like a lot of shit, but like regardless of how tough the past 2 years have been and also like how tough my life has been, like it's really not the end of this. And also like I just liked the idea of like the end of my debut album, like my first full body of work being like I'll see you next time. It's like it's not the end of the story. It's like the very last lyric on the whole entire album. So it made me smile. Okay.
But I really do feel like the entire album is summarized in The Story. It kind of summarizes these stories that. Correct me if I'm wrong. It sounds like you're talking about two different sets of people.
Yeah, I mean, also like that song in particular, like doesn't really just talk about me. It talks about like my friends growing up and like literal stories that I heard, like going around high school and stuff like that.
At what stage in this whole process was that song finished?
So the thing about that song is really funny is like I distinctly remember writing it being like, hate that song. Like I literally was like, gross. I think, and then I played it for some of my friends and they're like, what are you talking about? Like that's a great song. And I'm like, isn't it disgusting? They're like, no. And I think kind of deep down, I didn't really want to release it because I was scared of like telling people a little bit too much about myself, Like I am, even though I say a lot in the music, like there's definitely a genuine fear that I'm like, that I have to tell people so much about myself. I'm not like an extremely public person. So, yeah, I don't know. With that song, I wrote it really, really fast. I was sitting in bed. It was just like a normal day. And I was just kind of wallowing in my past and it just kind of happened. And I was like, ugh. That was way too much. Like I just said way too much. It was scary.
An overshare.
Yeah, for sure. But like something people, I think, found a little bit of solace in, which I think is important.
Yeah. And it's anthemic and it makes you feel and it gives you hope and it gives you motivation to keep going.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I think when you're a kid, like every single thing that happens to you feels like the end of the world. Like when you're 6 years old and like I grew up in an abusive household, like when you're 6 years old and you grew up in an abusive household, you can't really imagine not being 6 years old. You can think like, oh, like maybe one day, but it's hard to tell. And so I think like I wanted to tell people, all people, no matter like what age you are, that like no matter what you're going through, like I kept kicking and like everything is fine now. Everything's like better than fine. Like my life is, I can't even believe it's real. And like if you just like, even if you feel like it's really the end of your road, like I promise it's not. And I think that's an important thing for people to hear every once in a while, even if it's like you listen to it once, you're like, ouch,
But I think that is something that you need to remember, even though it feels like there's no end in sight, there is always an end in sight.
Yeah.
But you got to keep moving forward.
You just got to keep going.
The story is beautiful.
Thanks.
I thank you for sharing it. Let's go to Wish You Were Sober. Is this about a lover? Is this about a family member? It's a bop, dude.
Thanks.
It's so catchy and I've been singing it.
Good, thanks. Thank you very much.
Also deep as
Yeah, I think that's a classic kind of case of me taking a kind of situation, like a kind of not so good situation and making it like fun, which is very like me. Like I said, I don't take stuff too seriously. And like when something bad happens to me, I'm like, haha, oh well, I think that's like a generational thing. But yeah, basically like there's this person that I'd really, 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 really liked, and I wrote like so many songs about them, like way too many songs about them. And basically they would never tell me that they liked me back unless they were blackout drunk, like crazy drunk, like slurring words, weird FaceTime at 3 a.m. drunk. And I'd be like, it's a weird feeling because it's bittersweet. You're like, yay, this person likes me, but also they can't tell me that unless they're on a different planet,
So what is it?
What do you mean?
What kind of relationship is that?
I mean, I wasn't dating them. I was just like, I love you. And they were like, I'm drunk. and of course me, just like the songwriter that I am, I was like, okay, well, I have to write albums about you because I'm an idiot. But yeah, no, I never dated this person. I've never dated anyone. Like I've said, nothing has changed since then. I'm still, since the last interview, literally just chilling.
But this song is like, I don't know. I when I listen to it, it takes on a different meaning for me. But I could hear the relationship side of it. There's always somebody in your life, or a couple people in your life, that you wish when you're around them that they were just sober, because they're acting like fools.
Yeah. Also, it's like, I think when you like someone, you just like, overall, you just want them to like you back. That's just how your brain is. You're like, please like me, please like me, please like me. And then when that like moment where you're like, we like you, is ruined by them being like vomit drunk, then it's like not really that great of it's not like that like classic like movie moment that you were expecting. You're like, where are the cameras? You know, it's like
not so cute anymore.
Not that cute. It's not a meet cute.
Yeah,
no.
not a meet cute.
No.
Do you have a vice?
A vice. I think my vice is working.
Get out of here.
I'm serious. Look, I just like, my vice is like work so hard that I barely even know where I am, and like my eyes can't focus on anything. I'm like, whoa, where am I? Like that's what gets me.
What do you consider work?
I mean, everything, like touring till I can't like breathe, like all that kind of stuff. Like it's stuff that I like to do too, which is, I think, is why it's my vice. I'm like, yay. But it's also, you know, I definitely run myself into the ground, and my friends are like, oh no, are you okay? And I'm like, I don't know, are you okay? Leave me alone.
Is writing music work?
No, it never has been. I think that's why I write so many songs all the time. It's like, it's my way of de-stressing from work. And then the more I work, the more I want to write songs, because I need to de-stress more. So it's like a vicious, extremely productive cycle of death. It's productive. I'm sure you're an overworker. I see that in you.
I work very hard, and I have for a long time. But time, I figured out
you
balance.
hide behind it, I think.
I do. Oh, yeah.
Which is that's what I do.
I use it as my mechanism to not be social, to not be normal, to not do things.
Yeah,
it's a shield.
Exactly.
But I don't know if that's healthy.
I mean, it's not, but
we're doing okay.
We're fine.
We're cool.
It's okay.
Yeah. Yo, I am so sorry to interrupt, but you know what I got to do? I got to tell you about ASU. If you're considering going back to school, you got to ask yourself the following questions. Do you need the flexibility to take classes on your schedule? Do you have college credits that you need transferred? Do you want to earn a quality degree from a world-renowned university? If you answered yes to any of those questions, beautiful human, Arizona State University is the perfect school for you. Hello. This weekend, I saw like a whole family wearing ASU sweatshirts. It was cute. I kind of wanted to join them. ASU offers over 200 highly ranked degree programs, 100% online. You're going to earn the same degree that you would on campus from wherever you are, totally on your schedule. Plus, ASU Online accepts most transfer credits. If you want more information, just text my name, Zach, to 35517. Learn for yourself why the Wall Street Journal ranks ASU 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates, and why 87% of ASU grads are recruited within 90 days. Learn to grow, learn to succeed, and learn to thrive at Arizona State University. To learn more about ASU Online degrees, text Zach to 35517. That is ZACH to 35517. Kid Crow, I am sorry. When I was listening to the album, the one thing I don't know is who wrote these songs. But I heard you wrote almost all of them yourself.
Oh, yeah, I wrote them all by myself. Except for one song. There's one song on the album called Little League. Yeah, that I wrote with Captain Cuts, which are like great guys. And we wrote it together. But the whole album I wrote by myself. Some of the song just in bed. I don't know. Some of them I wrote like while I was on tour. And also like my producer every once in a while like throw in a lyric, and I'm like, that's a good lyric, and like we'll change that kind of stuff. But like, yeah, the whole album is literally just like me sitting in bed being like and like writing songs in moments of sadness, or like in moments of like ha, life is ironically horrible.
Do you like realize how crazy that is?
I don't know. Okay, like I just write songs. I don't know.
It's amazing.
Weren't you working with Ryan Tedder?
I did. I went into the studio with Ryan Tedder the other day. Also, like, he's like, I want him to be my like songwriting dad. He's like the coolest guy ever. And he like went on stage and like presented me to all these radio people. He was like, this is Conan Gray. And I was like, who? Like, he's wonderful. And that was such a cool experience, because he's, I mean, undeniably like one of the biggest songwriters of our entire generation.
But Ryan Tedder doesn't want to work with you until he hears songs from Kid Crow. And until he realizes that you wrote these songs yourself.
I wrote them by myself.
So a song like Wish You Were Sober, is that a song that you write right after you have a run-in with this person? Or is it something that like you kind of like let happen to you and then you think back months later?
See, like, I think that the thing about me is like my social life is so goddamn dry that like literally one thing happens to me and I'm like, I can feed off of the crumbs of that for years.
Yo,
like I can write albums about like one interaction. I'm like, how dare you? That's how I am. Like literally, I just realized this is a really depressing thing, but I've been writing songs about the same person now for 5 years. 5 years. And then the only other people that I write songs about is one other person and then my best friend Ashley, who I've been friends with since I was in the 7th grade. So it's like I don't write songs about a lot of people, and the interactions that I had with these people wasn't even that big in the first place. And I was like, look at that crumb, I'm gonna write a song about that. Like that's just how I am.
But do you feed? So do you think back to this crumb? Do you?
Yeah, I'm like, oh yum.
Do you immediately
look at that crumb? And I'm like, gotta write a song about that crumb. You know?
You immediately milk the crumb?
Yeah, that crumb is like gone. I'm
How
like,
many
that's a song.
songs on this album are about that one person?
This is so depressing, guys. There's like 5 on this one.
Out of the 12?
Out of the 12. But also the thing is too, like, there were like 200 songs that we whittled down to like the few songs that we had about each and every person.
So 190 of those songs are about this one person.
I mean, you're not even thinking about the fact that was just the past year. So you have to think back to like, 17-year-old Conan. What was he writing about? The same person. That's the thing.
Does that person know that you write about them?
They don't need to know because they were a massive narcissist. So they'll be fine.
They'll feed off of that.
They'll be fine.
Do you even talk with this person still?
No. Also, lately I've been writing songs about book characters and stuff because I just don't even have anything in my own boring ass life except for Zach saying.
You've been reading.
So I've been reading.
You've been reading a lot of books over the last week.
You said that like it was like a crazy thing. Like, you've been reading.
Who reads
Wait,
anymore?
you know how to read? Like, no, I have been reading. I just learned how to read.
Congratulations.
Thanks, guys. No, yeah, I've been reading also because I'm like really scared of the internet these days. I just like don't go on anymore.
It's a bad place, isn't it?
It's scary.
What? Why do you say that all of a sudden?
The internet is like a place where like I grew up on the internet, but like sometimes I wish I had it because like it's just a scary place. Like it's an extremely powerful tool, and I think that like we'll look back on this era of our lives where we're like this era of humanity where like we just now are learning how insanely strong the internet is, and like kind of be like, holy, can't believe we used to do stuff like that. I think we'll like look back and be like, wow, like that was bad.
I get it. It's a great power that has gotten out of hand.
I think in 10 years we'll look back and be like, whoa, like whoa, that was a lot.
With great power comes great responsibility, yo.
Yeah.
And the internet really does give a human being endless possibilities to connect and to learn and to create and to kind of do anything, to speak their voice.
I wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for the internet.
Me either.
No.
It's wild. So it is a little shocking when I hear you say that the internet is a dangerous place.
It is a dangerous place. So I've just been reading books, just learned how to read. It's been big for me.
Online love.
Online love.
I like the parentheses that you use in the song titles.
Yeah, for the interludes, yeah.
They make a difference.
Oh, thanks.
Why were these interludes important?
The interludes, I feel like I wrote purely just for the fans. Like I'm not out here trying to make like an interlude a Billboard Top 100 hit. Like, for me, the interludes are just like a little like, oh hey, by the way, like this is what it's about. That's why I put it in parentheses, because it just provides a little bit of backstory that like the people who listen to the album from the top to the bottom can like actually get a bigger sense of what it is. Which like with Online Love, I just wanted to talk about like the album as a whole. I really did write mostly just about people that I fell in love with over the internet, and I also think it's funny because like at the same time, like I'm falling in love with artists over the internet and they're falling in love with artists over the internet. And it's just like, I don't know. I think we live in a generation where, at least for me and my friends, like we really just, our love life is purely online.
Is online love different than actual love?
I mean, in the song I say like I can't help but imagine what we would be like if we weren't just online lovers, because there is a difference. Then like there's a difference between like walking into a cafe and being like, oh my God, I dropped my books. What? And like, look at you. What? You live in the same apartment building as me? And like being like, oh, hey, in your DM. There's a difference.
Yeah, totally.
There's a difference.
Do you get pleasure from online lovers?
It's always empty. That's why it's never good. It's like, because you get to a certain point and then you're just like, this is so boring. Like, I don't want to ask you about your day. I already know what you did. You
So
just
why
sat
don't you
around.
meet up with these people?
Yeah.
Meet them in real life.
Will you ever go from online love to tangible IRL?
Maybe
L?
one day. Maybe one day, but not anytime soon. Mostly just because, like, touring and everything. It's just, like, it's hard. It's hard out here for a little boy who's on tour, guys.
I feel like that's like such a consistent excuse. Sorry.
Look, haven't we just talked about hiding behind work?
Yes.
That's just let me hide, Zach.
If you want to hide, or if you want to live, so then you can write more songs instead of reading books.
But I can live off the crumbs, like I said. I just need one interaction with any of you three. So give me a little something. I'll write an album about you.
That's so exciting. Whose voice is on Online Love?
Oh, it's a bunch of my friends, and it's literally just like a conversation that we had that I like creepily recorded because it just made me smile. Basically, it was just like, when like you're with your friends, you're just like talking about like relationships, and it's just like the most hilarious, ridiculous banter. And so I wanted to stick it in the background there.
Did you actually record the vocals somewhere else, or was that in the studio and you kind of laid it underneath?
That song in particular, actually, I recorded it on my phone. Literally, it was me in my hotel room. I recorded it, me playing it on my guitar, and then I produced it myself on Logic on my computer in a hotel room, and that's literally how that whole song was made.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Can we be friends?
Can we be friends?
Another interlude.
Mm-hmm.
This actually has like thick substance to it. I'll tell you all the times I wish I could die, one of your many references to death. And if anybody with you, they with me. So if anybody with you, I'll knock their teeth out.
I'm with you.
Right?
Have you actually fought somebody before?
I've never fought anyone. One time I stabbed a kid in the leg with a pencil.
Whoa.
And I was in the 6th grade. There was this guy who was my middle school bully. His nickname to me was Greasy because he had the greasiest hair. Boy never took a shower. He did not know what a shower was, and he was so mean. He was so mean to me. And so one day I was sitting in choir class, and he was like doing something that was like hurting me. He was like, I don't know, twisting my wrist or something. So I got a pencil. I like sharpened number 2 pencil and stabbed him in the thigh.
Dope.
And it literally went into his thigh. Also, I was a 6th grader. Violence is not the answer, guys. As a 6th grader, I thought it was the answer. Stabbed him in the leg. The thing is, though, it was really a smart move on my part because he couldn't tell the teacher that I'd stabbed him in the leg with a pencil because he was trying to break my wrist.
Yes.
And I'm like, what are you going to tell them? Oh, I was trying to break Conan Gray's wrist, and then he stabbed me with a pencil. It's like, so he just had to deal with the fact that he had a pencil in his leg.
Self-defense.
It was self-defense.
Hey.
But I will fight someone who hurts my friends, always.
But
That's
it's never
sign
happened.
of a good friend.
I mean, I've been like, yo, back the off. Like, I will ruin your life. For sure.
I can't believe you stabbed a man with a pencil.
Have you seen Greasy?
Are you surprised? Like, are you surprised that
No.
I stabbed someone with a pencil? I don't think you should be surprised.
Not at all.
No.
Have you seen Greasy in a while?
I haven't seen Greasy.
What?
I actually know something about Greasy. Greasy really did not go down a good route in life. But I do know that he did end up in jail by the time I was in high school.
For what, stabbing someone with a pencil?
No, I don't know if I should say this. It's
okay.
Yeah, he just really didn't. He just was a really mean person, which makes me really wonder. Like, I wonder if I don't think he was okay at home and things. I really wonder. Like, I wish I could talk to him and see how he's doing because it seems. I mean, it's sad.
Oh, wow. You want to reconcile with your bully who's walked down the wrong path in life?
Yeah, I mean, it's like no seventh grader is just naturally mean.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
It's always retaliation to something.
And there's a reason behind
Yeah.
that type of stuff.
Yeah, and so I wonder, it's I grew up in a bad situation, and there were definitely times when I was just aggressive for no reason. And it's I don't really know. I mean, it's like stabbing someone in the leg is not a reasonable way to react to stuff. But life is tough. You never know the full story of anyone ever.
You should never stab somebody in the leg with a pencil.
Don't stab someone in the
Knock their
leg.
teeth out.
Knock their teeth out. That's a different answer. It's just if you're mean to my friends, I'll knock your teeth out.
Do you see your friends as family?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, family life has always been a bit rocky for me, so I built my own family with my friends. like to the point where like I was in their Christmas cards. You know, I would sleep in their guest bedrooms 5 days out of the week. You know, it was just how I was. I found a lot of comfort in them.
I have a question. Are these friends that from like elementary school and middle school, or are these friends you made when you moved out here?
Friends from high school, mostly middle school and high school. And they're friends, you know, that like no one liked me when I was in school, which I don't think is surprising. But like no one liked me except for them. You know, they're the people who just like loved me for what I am, which is like that's really rare. People, I feel like platonic love is so underrated and like not talked about, especially in music. It's always romantic. It's always romantic. And like I wrote so many songs on the album about my best friend Ashley because like she's the most important person in my life. Like I can't lie. And I also think it's like we romanticize romance all the time, which obviously it's romance, but like platonic love is so important and no one ever talks about it. They don't make movies about BFFs, you know?
Very rare.
Very rare.
But you look at friends differently. You put a different weight into those relationships.
Yeah, I mean, like those friends were there for me when I needed a family. They were my family, you know? And they took me in when I didn't have a home. And they were the people that I stayed with when I didn't think it was safe for me to go home. And they're just like everything to me. They're my best friends. Like, but like they're my best friends. They're not just like a buddy. I'm like, that's my soulmate right there.
What do they think of all this? I mean, they have to be proud.
They're proud, but they think it's hilarious. They're not they're not like, wow, like Conan, you're so cool now. They're like, ew, why does anyone like you? You're disgusting. Like they're not boosting my ego at all. You know, they're very much like what's going on? Like why do people like you? Like I know like I like you, but why do other people like you? I'm like, I don't know, for the same reason. I don't but they're very proud of me for sure because they've seen me, you know, the ups and downs, but they're the first people to be like, Conan, that sentence you just said was so stupid. Like, do you realize how dumb you sound? You sound like such an idiot. Like saying like, oh, I have to do another interview. Like, shut up, Conan, do the interview, you know?
Well, it's what you need.
Yeah, they keep me grounded because they don't want to see. I always say like, if you ever like see me in the tabloids doing some dumb thing, just come and shoot me. I don't want to be that person. Just come. You have permission to just come shoot me.
Okay. Maybe not shoot.
Take me out.
Fight or flight.
Fight or flight.
Where does that record come from?
Fight or Flight is kind of one of the songs that I like just wanted to tell a story. You know, I think the roots of like country music especially is very much just like, look at this story that I came up with. And this was it was just one of those situations where I'd really liked this one person and they liked someone else. But they also liked me, and it was just like this constant like game of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And so I was like, I don't know what to do in this situation. Like, do I like scream and make this big fuss, or do I just like leave and just like let it go? You know, is it like fight or flight? I think it's a pretty common question in any relationship. It's like, do I try to make this a big thing, or do I just like finally pick up and leave?
Totally. And by the way, like in any type of relationship, it could be platonic,
totally.
It could be romantic, it could be family.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is a big question. Is it worth fighting for? Or do you just peace out?
Yeah, do you just like finally like have the last straw and just let it disappear? Which I'm the king of burning all bridges and disappearing. It's like my thing. I'm really good at that. They're like, oh, wonder what happened to Conan. I'm like, I don't know. And so my answer is usually flight, unless I fight with a number 2 pencil in the leg.
Is flight weakness? I feel like I'm the same way.
Flight, it depends where you're running, like why you're running. Like, are you running because you're scared, or are you running because it's time for you to go? And like, you know, I think like in particular like in abusive relationships, like it's brave to leave, you know? Mm-hmm. But sometimes I'm just like, I'm scared. I'm just like run away. Especially when it comes to like romantic relationships, I am so cautious. I'm like,
why?
You just move your arm too fast. I'm leaving. Like, it's just like, I can't do that.
Yeah, because you're looking for excuses to not be in it.
I'm looking for excuses to like keep my distance, you know? I think that's always like, I'm just afraid, you know? I don't intimacy's a lot. 2020, intimacy in 2020, like who can afford that?
Yeah, but that is a deeply rooted thing that goes back to you being a kid.
Yeah, probably. It's definitely like the therapist answer is like, oh, the people that were supposed to love you didn't love you, and so now you can't let anyone else love you. But the Conan Gray answer is just like, I'm a little scaredy cat.
Yeah, because you don't know what it's like to feel loved outside of your friends.
Yeah, and also like the first person I loved so much, I was like, I love you so much. They were like, I don't love you. I was like, okay, that's fine. Yeah,
that's rough.
It happens, whatever.
How old were you when that happened, though?
I was like 17. I saw this tweet the other day that was like, like teenage boys get their heart broken one time and never recover, and I'm like, I'm like, that's me. Like literally one f***ing time, Conan, calm the f*** down. And I'm like, I gotta go become a singer now.
When I was younger, I had my heart broken twice, very close together.
Oh, ouch.
Ruined me.
Ruined you.
Literally never recovered. Changed the entire path of my life forever. And now I don't love that type of person any longer.
I know.
Changed everything for me.
I know. Also, it's the first one that hurts the most. The first cut is the deep. You know what I mean?
The cut that always bleeds.
Yeah.
Is that you?
The cut that always bleeds is a song that I wrote kind of at the very last leg of this person that I'd really liked. And it was just like basically a song that I wrote about getting strung along, you know? There's those people that you just like every single time that you think that you're over them, they just pop back in and you're like, damn it, like I still like you. And also like this wound that I'm trying to heal over, like you just keep coming in and like opening it and like cutting it open. Every single time it's just about to heal. You're like,
know when to do it.
I know. They're like,
it's like a sixth sense.
They're like, I can tell you're kind of getting over me, so I'm gonna pop back in, show you how hot I am, and then I'm gonna leave. Like, and you're like,
or they say something sweet to you out of nowhere. And you're like,
they're like, hey, how are you? I'm like,
oh my God, you said something so sweet to me. How are you?
Yeah, all they need to say is how are you, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go write another album. There's those. They can tell. There's a sixth sense. They're like, oh, they're about to get over it. Yeah.
But this song is a battle within. I can't be your lover on a leash every other week when you please. I can't be the kiss that you don't need. The lie between my teeth or your teeth?
Your teeth.
Your teeth. The cut that always bleeds. But at the end of it, you come to this realization that you're down to be this lover on a leash.
That's the thing. It's like, no matter how much you're like, I think it's human. It's like, no matter how much you're like, I'm fine. I'm going to get over you. Like, you know, at least for me, I know that this second this person would be like, okay, let's date. I'd be like, okay, cool, whatever, let's do it. Like, you know, it's like, I will always be a sucker for this person. That's just how I am. I don't fall for people very often. And when I do, it's just like absolute down. Fall very hard.
I get it, because it's hard to trust people.
Yeah, when you find that person, you're like, I kind of like you. It's just like, it's done.
You mentioned in Little League when you were a kid wearing your heart on your sleeve.
Mm.
Is that something that still exists today? Or as you've grown up, have you grown more distant, tougher skin?
I think I've grown thicker skin over the years. But I think, you know, when I was really young, I just like did whatever I wanted all the time, you know? It's like my best friend was babysitting a kid, and the kid, you know, kids just say whatever they want all the time. And they say things that are crazy, but you're like, you're not wrong, you know? They say something and like, and it's just like very profound. And like, you just like, you know, when you're a kid, you just want to love. You want to love other people. You want people to love you. And like, you're just so open to it. And the older I get, I just close and close and close and close and close. But I think my way of like bearing my heart on my sleeve is just by writing songs. Like, that's the one time that I'll be like, I'll tell you anything. Like, I'll tell you everything about the situation, because like people deserve to know. And also people, like I say this all the time, like people aren't stupid. People can tell when an artist doesn't write their own songs. Like, people can tell when you're making stuff up.
I'm trying to tie you not wearing your heart on your sleeve anymore to when you choose to give your heart to somebody, it's a big deal. So you fall hard. And then when they don't want you, it's rough.
Yeah, and see, I've picked this apart. I think that I, in particular, fall for people that I know aren't going to love me back.
I totally get it.
Because I'm like, I know no matter what I do, you aren't going to ever let me get close enough to you for me to ever love you.
Is that because you secretly don't want love?
Exactly. That's why.
Defense mechanism.
Yeah, it's because I'm like, you'll never get close enough to me. And that's what I want. I want this like safe, far away, distance love.
So you're only going after people who are totally just not obtainable.
People that I just know like are just closed, like emotionally closed off. Like, not, you know, also like just people that I'm like, I know you're going to destroy me and I'm going to write such good songs about you and it's going to be great, you know?
But like, they don't really need to destroy you that much to
right?
get great songs.
Every once in a while, you just kind of want to be like obliterated.
I get it.
Because being obliterated is better than just like feeling nothing.
Pretty much my entire life, so I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
I love feeling nothing.
That's a personal issue. You say
Time
with
we
like
don't
glaze
have.
over your eyes. I love feeling nothing. It's just like nothing in your soul.
Affluenza.
Affluenza.
Phenomenal record.
Thanks.
Phenomenal.
Thank you.
Are you thinking about one person when you're writing this song?
I mean, it's more like a gang of people that I discovered once I moved to LA. Like, I grew up really poor. We had ups and downs, but there were definitely eras of, my childhood where we were like, my sister and I would just be at home alone. We'd be like, I don't know what to eat. We don't know how we're going to eat. We don't have any money. I used to live in this one house that, like, literally, it was like a little square box. And the back door, which is the door that we came through, was literally just a piece of cardboard that we would just tape onto the wall. And so every time it would rain, it would just melt away, and then we'd be like, haha, gotta put up the cardboard door again. But like that's what our lives were like for a lot of our childhood. And that's when I was a kid, I just really thought, I was like, oh, like if we had money, like solve all of our problems, like we'd be fine. Me and my sister were just like, we just need to make a ton of money. We just need to go to college, work really hard to make a ton of money, and we're gonna be good. Which, yeah, like money does solve a lot of problems. But once I moved to LA, I discovered this like alternate group of people who lived on the complete opposite side of the universe that I grew up in, that were born into so much money that it makes you want to vomit. Unbelievable. Like, privileged the second they were turned into an embryo. And they're unbelievably sad people. They're just broken inside. And it's really interesting because I thought that money would solve all my problems as a kid. But once I moved out here, I realized, like, no matter who you are, no matter how little money you have or how much you have, like, there's always problems. And my best friend, I'd gone to this ridiculous party, and I was texting my friend about it. And she brought up this word, which is a word called affluenza, which is a word that they use to kind of describe the way that growing up really privileged affects you later on in life.
There was a famous case where a boy drove drunk and killed people, and they made the case that he had affluenza.
Yeah, exactly. That's what she brought up.
I'm pretty sure he got off.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't end up going to prison. We should Google that, but yeah.
Yeah. Basically, it's like, it just like, she texted me that word, and I was like, first of all, that's a crazy sounding word. It's a cool sounding word. And I was like, too, like, it's something that I think people... It's just a weird perspective that I'd never really thought I would have, the perspective of seeing both sides of the world, and it was something fun to write about.
Well, so seeing both sides of this universe, which is true, right? Like,
it's the other side of the world, literally.
It's completely different. It's unlike anything that you could ever have imagined growing up.
It's like Great Gatsby. It's crazy.
Do you build a definition for success and happiness, seeing both of them and seeing how different, and kind of trying to figure out what the middle looks like?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, it's hard to tell really what makes you happy. I think that's just like a really existential question of like, what in the end matters? And I don't know. I'll have to like ask dying Conan to figure that out.
Yeah, but what about success? Because if you realize that money can't buy happiness, but when you're growing up, your goal was to work so hard to make money because you thought it was going to fix things.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like, the fact that I like am sitting here on this couch, like at an interview talking about my debut album, is like insane amounts of success for me. I really never thought I would get even close to this far at all. Like, getting into college was my biggest success of life. And then, but before that, getting into, like, I don't know, art competitions, like, it's like every little thing was a big success to me. So I think in my head, I'm trying to take things just like day by day and not, tell myself that if I don't reach this certain goal that I'm going to be a failure. But I definitely do think like that, but it's something I try not to train myself to do. And I don't really know what success will be. I think success will be ultimate happiness, but I don't know what will bring that.
Has money made your life easier?
Absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of the problems that we had growing up when we were super poor, I don't have those problems anymore. There's a new set of problems that arose that are really confusing and super weird, and I like don't really know. But like I think to say to anyone who's grew up with money problems, to tell them like, oh, money's not going to fix your problems is like so ignorant.
Totally.
The money will solve the money issues. That's literally, like, I hate that. Like, when a rich person's like, money's not going to solve it. I'm like,
Liar. I have a tree through my house. It takes money to fix it.
Yeah, like it'll pay my rent. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
It'll pay my medical bills. It'll keep my lights on.
Yeah, definitely not going to be ignorant enough to say that. Yeah, for sure.
Are you happy with how you grew up though? Like seeing where you are now?
Yeah, I wouldn't change anything.
Is that hard to say?
No, because I think like for me, my childhood made me who I am. I wouldn't wish my childhood on anyone else, but like I think I'm always like, oh, I took that bullet for us. Like I dealt with it. It happened to me, and now through writing songs, I can help other people deal with similar situations, which is like, it's full circle, and I can handle the punch. It's whatever. Yeah.
Is there a song on this album that you feel best describes who you were
as a kid?
Yeah.
I think the stories where I talk the most about my childhood, and I think there's little pieces of past me interlaced throughout the whole entire album, which is why I'm scared for it to be out. Like there's so many songs that I'm worried about saying too much. But I'm trying not to really think about it. I think people deserve to have real songs, and there's definitely songs that I'm like, oh gosh, I really hope that people don't take that the wrong way and stuff like that, because I say a lot of stuff that's like kind of weird.
What is top of mind?
Top of my mind, I just keep thinking that like people are gonna think I'm like literally a murderer because I'm always talking about like killing people in this song. Also like who knows, maybe like one day like I murder someone.
Heather.
It
sounds like you're gonna murder Heather.
My favorite song, by the way, is Heather. Heather is my favorite song.
That's my favorite too.
Oh, I love that. I love
that's my favorite like crying one.
I just relate to it.
Yeah, I think anyone relates to like absolutely f***ing hating the person that you like.
I've had a Heather that I've hated.
Everyone has that Heather. It's like, that person that there's no reason to hate this person other than the fact that the person you like is in love with them.
Yep.
Perfectly nice
Which is
girl,
so
Heather.
petty.
Heather is a wonderful girl.
Yeah, but it sounded like you wanted to skin her, but you also were admiring her. It was quite a ride to be on.
Yeah, it's like, also, I think, like, God, I wish I was that girl that, like, wears sundresses and is just perfect and sweet. And you're like, I wish I could be as perfect as you, but no matter what I do, I'm always going to be like a nasty ass gremlin. Like no matter what I do, I'm always going to be this like guy who writes songs about people that I never even dated. Like that's just who I am. But like, God, don't you wish for 1 second you were just like beautiful, oblivious Heather?
Yeah. Well, do you want to hear something crazy? There was a Heather that I had.
An actual Heather.
Well, not like her name wasn't Heather, but my Heather. I never knew her, but I hated her. And then I got to know her. And she ended up being one of my best friends.
I know, right? And you're also like, you're obsessed with them. Yeah. You're like, I just admire
And then I'm like, of course he loves you because I love you.
Course.
I want to date you now.
You're wonderful. I would date you. Jesus. It's like, it's hard. It's a hard situation. Everyone just wants to be liked back.
Totally.
So, do you want to be Heather?
I want to be dead. I want to be dead. Why do I just want to say it?
Oh my gosh.
Subconsciously.
My brain was like, say it, Conan, say it.
Stop.
I think I want to be Heather, and I also want to date Heather.
Who are you singing this song to? Or who are you writing to? The person dating Heather or Heather?
The person dating Heather. The person that guys, this is really complex songwriting. No, the person that I like is in love with Heather.
And that's who you're writing to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious about the way that you ended Heather, though. Because you don't say Heather. Like, it's supposed to end on the last word Heather, but you don't end it that way. And you do that also in The Cut That Always Bleeds.
Yeah, I think with songs that, like, with that song in particular, like, I didn't want it to end because that story's not over. Oh. It's still something that I deal with all the time. There's so many songs that I love, like, that just, like, talk about... I do a lot of times wish I was just like a pleasant, nice guy that you bring home to the parents and like is normal and goes to college and is nice.
This concept that you're not is crazy to me, but keep going.
But also I think it's like there's so many times that I wish that I was just Heather, I think and it's still something I constantly think about. So I didn't want to end the song. And same with The Cut That Always Bleeds. Like the cut is always bleeding. The cut is still bleeding. So I didn't want to end the song.
Yeah, but at what point does the cut bleed out?
The cut, humans are incredible. We can just keep making blood no matter what. So I don't know. It's like who knows when it'll be over. I think writing songs is my way of like healing over wounds. And I wrote a lot of songs about these people. So,
but are these wounds that are healed, even
No.
though they're not finished?
they're not. Everything takes time. I'll deal with it. I still have a few crumbs left to eat, guys. It'll leak over to my second album. You'll be like, oh, Conan, still writing about the same person.
I just feel like you don't finish Heather because it is a story that will continue as long as you keep going after people who are just unobtainable.
Who don't like you?
Yes!
Like, I hate you, Conan. I'm like, I love you. Take me.
Conan, earlier you said that people can tell when you make stuff up,
Mhm.
but it seems like you make a lot of stuff up.
I think I blow things up in my head. I'm just like a massive overthinker. Like I'll take a tiny situation and inflate it until it's like the biggest problem in my head, and then I'll write a song about it, and then it like diminishes. But it's always like I think back to the people, like to my past, and like to like the first time I fell in love and things like that. I'm like, how was any of that real? Like I don't. It sounds like a movie when I talk about it. Or, you know, every time I'm in the studio, like, oh, tell me about your love life. And I'm like, start talking. I'm like, how is any of this real life? Like, it just sounds ridiculous.
But is it real?
Yeah, it's real.
It physically happened.
I wish it wasn't real, but it's real.
Even though, how much of your love is online love?
These days, 100%.
Do you wish you had like a significant other that you could just take on tour and hang out with?
Yes. Yes.
You deserve
Takers? Oh my God, I wish. That'd be so fun, just like a pet.
Somebody for you to keep on a leash.
Like a pet. Yeah, I'm like, oh, you're so cute. That's so problematic. Ooh, yeah, no.
How about your friends? Will they go on the road with you?
Well, I'm like really close to my band. So they're my friends, and they're really protective of me.
I thought you were about to say they're your pets.
They're my pets. No, yeah, I'm really close with my band, and also like my friends, my two friends that I love. They FaceTime me every single day.
Hey,
every single day.
What do you learn from not hanging out, but from witnessing the world that is affluenza? Like, what do you pick up?
I think the main thing I pick up from like seeing this ridiculous side of the world, which is like the music industry and like all this kind of stuff, is just like how hilarious it is. It's like none of this, like we all think our problems are so big because there's like millions of people watching, but like the average person's like, oh, I'm hungry, and they go eat. They're not like, oh, I heard that blah 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 did this and this, and it's like no one cares. Also, it's just like I learn more and more. It's like the things that make you happy like really are the simplest things in life, and they're also most of the things that make you happy are free. They're like things that, you know,
their relationships, their experiences.
It's experiences. It's love. It's simple things that you can have at any point in your life. But like also, I'm sure like having a yacht makes you happy too. So like that can't be ignored either.
If we went back to Texas with you, what would we do?
We would all get in my car and we'd blast borderline crap pop music.
So my life, yeah.
Yeah, borderline crap. So my own songs. And we'd just drive for hours. We'd go to Sonic. Have you been to Sonic?
Of course.
Yeah.
We'd go to Sonic. We'd all get lemon berry slushes and mozzarella sticks. And we'd just drive and talk and just like literally just live our lives. Like it's when I go back home to Texas, it's nothing. They're like, what do you do in a small town? You go to 7-Eleven, you get a Slurpee, and you're like, okay, what do we do now?
You sit in a lot of parking lots.
Sit in a lot of parking
You go to
lots.
Walmart?
You go to Walmart. Yeah, Walmart's good because it's open 24/7.
Totally. I've been to Walmart at all times of the day.
Also, like me and my friends joke that there's like liminal spaces. I don't know if you like basically like spaces where it's like time doesn't exist there and it's like an alternate like reality. You can do whatever you want. Like Waffle House at 3 a.m, liminal space. Like doesn't matter what you could like literally, I don't know, jump off the wall and it wouldn't matter because it's not reality.
Yeah, I get
like
it.
Walmart at 3 a.m, not reality.
Whataburger, does that fall into this category?
Whataburger is definitely it's a Texas liminal space specifically.
I get that. And there's a lot of like they're always busy.
Yeah, I was always really scared of Whataburger because all the cool kids would go to Whataburger and they would like smoke cigarettes and I'd be like, oh, you're so cool.
Most of the losers go to Sonic?
Yeah, because we don't have to get out of our cars.
I mean, all three of us said that we've been to Sonic, so I think that says something about us too.
Yeah,
I've only been to Whataburger once.
Yeah, exactly. Me like twice in my life.
And you lived in Texas.
I lived in Texas and I've been like twice, which just shows you how not cool I've always been.
But is your life different in Texas now? Like, can you walk around and do the same things? Or are people like, oh, there's Conan?
He doesn't really leave his car.
I don't leave my car. No, it's
he goes to Walmart at 3 a.m. and Waffle House.
Well, like it's just kind of funny because like I feel like in Georgetown, Texas, I'm like exponentially more famous than I am anywhere else in the world because nothing happens in Georgetown, Texas. So they're like, oh, did you hear that? Like that kid Conan like became a singer, but they're all really proud of me back home. But yeah, like me, it's more like my best friends, like my friends aren't used to me getting stopped and stuff like that. And I'm like, I love people coming up and saying hi. Like I'm so used to it, but it freaks them out so much. So we just like kind of stopped going outside. We just like kind of hang out. We like do what we used to do, which is like watch movies and go to Sonic and stuff like that. But also like I feel like it's such a burden to be friends with someone who like is in the public eye, and I just kind of like they're not used to it, so I don't like want to force them to like have to go deal with it.
Oh my God, you're not a burden, and it's really not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I just it freaks them out. They're like they hate it. They get so nervous.
Also, how would you know, Zach?
Well, I mean, I have friends that are a little famous, and I'm not gonna lie, a lot of them have gone through their own periods of time where they didn't want to leave their house or they didn't want to do things, and it was a total switch of life for like not just them, but like the friends around.
Yeah,
because one day we were going out freely, and the next day it was like can't do anything.
Yeah, I think like they never asked to deal with it, so I don't want to force them to deal with it. Also, like we were all like just like the normal, not normal. We weren't normal, but we were like all pretty much just like the shy kids, and I don't want to like the fact that I exist in real life like is mortifying to them. They do not like it.
They're proud of you.
They're very proud of me, but they're also like, can we not go outside? And I'm like, yeah, let's not go outside.
Are your mom, sister, dad still in Texas?
Yeah, all of them are still in Texas, and my sister's like literally a saint. She's like a Disney princess. I'm always like, shut up.
What does she do in Texas?
She's a nurse.
Oh, she saves lives. Real job.
I know. She's like perfect. I'm like, oh, so ridiculous.
Did you play the album for them yet?
Yeah, my sister heard it. She's like you're like average music consumer where she like really doesn't care about anything. So she's like, I'll play a song. She's like, I like that one, and I'm like, what do you think? Oh, it's nice. She doesn't care. So yeah, they're also like they're just really proud of me, but they also have like no idea what my life. I think like in their head I'm like the most famous person on earth, but also like I'm like nothing. So it's weird. They're very proud of me though. Yeah.
Why are you so self-deprecating?
No, it like they think I'm nothing. They're like, wait, are you famous or are you not famous? They can't tell.
Do they come here at all?
Not much, but every once in a while they'll visit, and they're very excited. My sister came to Lollapalooza. She was like, whoa. She was so proud of me. It makes me happy because like she's my favorite person.
Do we want Coachella to still happen?
I mean, I hope, but I also don't want a bunch of people to get like coronavirus and die, so.
COVID-19.
Yeah, I'm preaching for winter Coachella.
Oh, by the way, that makes a lot of sense.
Coachella with like winter coats instead of like bikinis.
It'd be Coachella.
Coachella.
Ah, Dan.
Wow.
For that, we deserve passes.
Words.
You hear that golden voice?
English.
Wow.
Wow.
Bravo, Coachella.
That's big.
It's a big deal that you're on that lineup.
I know, it's kind of crazy. I'm like, shut up. That's crazy. I can't believe people want to see me.
I've never seen you live. I feel like you'd be a good time.
Thanks. It's I think it's what you expect. I dance very crazy, like an idiot on stage, and then everyone sees me dancing like an idiot, and they're like, "Hoo, I feel kind of bad," and then they'll dance as dumb to make me feel like I'm okay.
Who supported you with music early on in life? Like, why'd you keep going? Because I'm sure there was 1,000 opportunities for you to stop.
I think it was one of massive fear of failure. I was like, oh my gosh, Conan, if you don't do a good job, you're gonna die. Also, too, I just like, it was the internet. The internet was like my world.
So they were the motivation?
It wasn't that I was motivated because of the internet. It was just like the internet made me feel like I could do anything with my life, and music was what I wanted to do. Yeah.
You had anything at your fingertips.
Yeah, I was like, it's just. I mean, I think what's so exciting about music right now is just that like literally anyone can become a singer. Like I'm case number one of like anyone. It's just so cool.
Yeah, but your vocals are sick.
Yeah, you can sing.
Thanks.
And your songwriting is on another level.
Thanks.
Real talk, I think you're one of the greatest songwriters that we've ever had on this couch.
Thanks.
It's crazy.
Thank you.
But back to failure not being an option. is that just who you are? Like, if you take something on and you let people around you know that you're taking on this challenge, do you then feel obligated to succeed?
I'm definitely like a people pleaser. Like I like to do a good job, usually, but also like, yeah, I just like failure wasn't an option because I didn't have a backup plan. Like I went to college with college being my backup plan to hopefully doing music, because by then the labels started reaching out by the time I'd gotten into college. So it's you know, for me it was like I needed to do well. I didn't have like a family I could fall back onto. I didn't have like all the things that I think could have saved me. So I was just like, I just need to do a good job. And so I tried my best.
Well, college was your way out of Texas.
Yeah, college was like, thank God, because like I'd gotten in, and it was like my incubation period of when I first moved to LA. Yeah.
Do you remember calling your parents and saying that you're not doing college, or did you just leave on your own?
I just left. I just left, and also like I didn't tell anyone I was leaving until after I'd signed. All my friends were like, all my new friends that I made in college, I just made like within the month. They're like, wait, you're leaving school? I'm like, yeah, sorry guys. And I also like a lot of the classes like I just didn't want to be in. I was so bored. College is so boring.
So you didn't tell your parents until you signed a record deal?
I mean, I was like, oh, like I think I might sign a record deal, and they were like, that's cool. And then I signed a record deal, and then dropped out of college, and they were like, whatever. Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
It is crazy looking back. I'm like, oh, that was kind of a strange move, Conan. But it all worked out.
It was a needed move.
I think like when you have an opportunity, like it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's like signing a record deal or like, I don't know, talking to someone that you're like too shy to talk to or something, like life is so short. Just like do it.
You got to shoot your shot.
Shoot your shot.
You've like quoted so many lines from Eminem's "Lose Yourself" in the past.
Yeah, actually,
minute.
I'm Eminem. It's nice to meet you.
It's an honor to have you here.
My dad used to play Eminem in the car, and it would make me cry because he would play, what's that song, Stan?
Yeah.
Where like he would like drown his wife in his trunk, and I'm like, please turn it off, Dad. Please turn it off, because like it's terrifying.
And now fast forward these years, you're talking about
Eminem.
You are Eminem, yeah.
Yeah. I'm Eminem. Nice to meet you. Oh God, that's probably gonna be taken out of context and like really just not made into a good thing. Whatever.
Don't worry about that. You are very much a product of your environment. It's very cool to get to understand you a little bit more today.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving us time and energy.
What was that answer? Yeah, no, thank you for having me.
Ooh, I saw you talking a lot about Lorde recently, and last time you talked a lot about Taylor Swift. If you could only listen to one of them, who would it be?
Are you trying to get me assassinated? If I pick one, I will get assassinated.
By who? The other one's fans?
Probably by them.
Oh, you think they're gonna come for you?
No.
Yeah, I don't want to risk any I don't want to risk you ruining any collaborations for you. In the
Yeah, it's
future.
hard to say. I wouldn't know. They both gave me completely different aspects of my life. I think Lorde gave me depression.
I don't know. Do you think she gave you depression, or did she see you through depression?
She led me through the path. And I think Taylor gave me like pop music obsession.
Yeah, they are very different.
Yeah, they're different. They're different people. But then like weirdly you're like they're like buddies. You're like, I would love to see how they would interact. Because I'd imagine it's probably like so amazing.
Kid Crow.
I have one more quick question.
Is the album? Yes.
Have you ever thought about what like a happy relationship Conan album would sound like?
Ooh. I'm sure it would still sound kind of intense. I mean, I've written love songs before.
But I'm talking about when you're like in love, 2-year relationship.
I mean, is that ever gonna happen?
I hope so.
I don't know about that. I think when I'm a little scared because like, what if I can't write good songs once I'm in love?
Then you dump them.
Yeah, exactly. So gone.
And that's okay.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I already know the course of my life. You know, I'm gonna get married and move to a ranch and get a horse. His name is gonna be Blue Jeans, after the horse in a Hannah Montana movie. And
literally had to ask you that.
yes, I am gonna have a horse named after the horse in the Hannah Montana movie. And I'm just gonna like sit on a porch and drink sweet tea and get fat. It's gonna be a good time.
I'm so excited for that for you.
Yeah.
Are you proud of this album?
I'm very proud of it. I keep thinking like, if it doesn't do well, like I tried my gosh darn best. So whatever, you know? But I'm excited for people to hear what I have to sing.
Is there anyone else you're looking to make proud?
My friends.
They're the ones?
I hope they're proud of me. And I know they are. And they tell me every once in a while. They crack every once in a while, like, okay, yeah, we're proud of you, Conan. I also, like, I hope that the fans enjoy the music. Like, I'm writing these songs and I go through the process of recording them because I'm like, this is my gift to you. Please like it. You know, I want the fans to be able to find a little bit of comfort in the songs. So I hope that they like it.
A gift to others, but also a gift to you, because I feel like this has to be healing.
Oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I grew up so much in the process of making this album, like unbelievable amount. I remember not like 6 months ago, like on the phone, like screaming at my manager, like, I can't do this. Like, there's no way I can do this. Like, this is way too much pressure. And then to now, like, where I'm like, okay, like I did it. I made the album. I've grown a lot in it, and it was it's healing to talk about your problems, even if you're just like talking to yourself in your room like a crazy person.
What'd you learn about yourself from making it?
I think I learned that like I've never been in love, and that like I'm mostly just like I'm in love with songwriting. like above all, I'm just like I write way too many songs. I also think anyone who listens to the album, like I put up such I'm tough, I'm fine. I put up a lot of that kind of a filter, but I think anyone who listens to the album can be like, that's a baby. Like that's a big baby crying to himself. Yeah.
Conan Gray, you're incredible.
Thank you.
Thank you for the time and energy today.
Thanks for listening to my album.
Love ya. Love
you
the
too.
album. It is spectacular and it deserves your ear. Kid Crow, it is a beautiful body of work and yeah, it's wild. Thanks. Congratulations.
Thank you.
A spectacular debut album. Kid
Thank you.
Link in the
I'm so glad
description.
you like it.
Hey, beautiful human, thanks for watching our full interview, but I get it. Like, a full interview is a lot. So we got a clips channel. We don't expect you to watch the full thing anymore, so we just gave you the highlights. Please subscribe and notifications and all that stuff. Okay, cool. I love you. Hello, beautiful human. Today's video is brought to you by Native. I use Native all the time. Deodorant. They now have toothpaste again. 2 minty flavors. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan because it works. Plus, they use ingredients that I understand, that I know about. And it's no pressure buying. If you don't like what they send you, you can send it back. Free shipping, free returns. They got you. Did I mention there's 9,000 5-star reviews? 9,000. By the way, if you can't tell, I'm hanging out with you from home. Home studio slowly coming together. I got to put stuff behind me. If you have any recommendations, leave it in the comment section below. Interviews, more regularly coming soon, I promise. I'm about to feed you with some of our favorite moments from Ariana Grande. Are you ready? She's one of my favorite human beings and one of the greatest artists to ever exist. It's pretty simple. By the way, if you want 20% off your first purchase from Native, just use the code Zach. Link in the bio.
Let's do this. Zach Sang Show.
Right?
Am I
Which is
Lil
being
Uzi?
yourself.
I'm like, I don't know, man. Just do it.
No, you're in. Sweetener.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so
Oh my God,
excited.
you're so high.
No, I'm not.
He goes,
High on life.
he goes, sweetener. Out of nowhere, he goes, sweetener. The first time you listened to Sweetener, you were so high. He was in my car and he was like, bro, he was like, oh my God. And I was like, are you good?
I wasn't good.
No.
I felt that.
You felt
I
it.
think.
You're that guy.
Thanks.
Who says the word smash still?
Me.
You and Scooter.
Me, Scooter,
You and Scooter Charlie walk.
Oh, smash. It's going to be a hit.
Smash.
I can't.
That's the only 3 people I know. No one else on
Yeah,
earth.
I'll take that company any day. Any
Me
day.
too.
So,
Suck a Zach Sang.
getting married?
No.
Would love.
How do you deal with being under such an intense microscope all the time?
It's really wild. Sometimes it takes a really crazy toll on me and I'll be really sad for like a couple of days in a row when I read something that makes me feel awful, because I am such an extreme like purist when it comes to people. Like I want everyone to be my friend, and I like desperately love and want to hug everyone I encounter. Like literally I'm like, wow, I wish everyone would come over for dinner right now and never leave. I've had that since I was a little girl. Like my mom always said, like, Ariana, that like gotta like let it end. Like you gotta let the Chippelones go home at some point. You know what I mean? Like I want to like take everyone in as like a love hostage. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And that's for sure the most poetic thing I've ever said. But anyway, I want to just like make friends with everyone and love everyone. So it takes a toll on me emotionally because I want people to get that, and I understand that not everyone knows me at all. I probably wouldn't like me if I only knew what the world knows of me or reads of me, because like half of it is bull, and the half of it's true is like videos of me like touching my hair and like being like a polished pop star girl, and I'm like, ew, like f you. I see my shit that I make and I'm like, that's crazy. I'm like, my job is stupid. Didn't I say that yesterday? I said that yesterday when I was watching the behind the scenes with Fredo and these boys at the studio. I was like, wow, I'm kind of an asshole. I was like looking at it and I was like, I have the dumbest job in the world. It was me being like, go on and to the booth. I was like, that's so googly and pretentious. I hope I don't come off like that. So I don't know. I guess it's hard for me to accept that like literally no one actually knows me at all, and that it has to just be like water off the thing, because it's not actually an attack on me, the person. It's an attack on Ariana, the like thing that like isn't actually me, which is weird because it is kind of actually me now. So it's like kind of both.
They morphed into one another?
It's kind of weird because it's like, yeah, I forget that I'm like, you know.
But you spend a lot of time on Twitter. I'm sure,
I do.
like as much
Every
as like you
morning
like to
I start
interact.
my day going to talk to my fans. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, as much as you want to interact with your fans, I'm sure there's tons of negative stuff on there.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a very conflicting thing for me, because I love starting my day by going on and talking to them because they're funny as and they're sweet and kind and amazing. And I'm actually sad they're not here right now because last time we had so much fun, but also like that was like a lot, and I don't want to do that to you guys again. We had like a party here, and I'm so sorry. I am like surprised that this building is still standing after that night, our sleepover party with my fans.
It was the only party I've ever thrown.
Yeah, that was the first party. No, but yeah, it's like a tough kind of line to walk, because I don't want to let that diminish how beautiful the internet is as well. Like, it's trash, but it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. And it's like, there's a lot of bullshit, but I want to be a person that's like strong enough and okay enough to be like, but I want to go talk to the people that also make me happy and are also such a huge contributing factor to my joy and like such a beautiful part of my life. I don't want that to, I do have to take breaks every now and then, but I love talking to them. I really do. Like, it makes me laugh.
It's balance, right? At the end of the day?
Mm-hmm. It is balance, but I'm super fragile. I wish I weren't. Like, I'm such a Cancer. Like, my mom was like, wow. My mom's like, how are you, my daughter? I'm like, Mom. She's like, who the cares? I'm like, Mom, I'm not you. Like, I'm not like tough as nails yet. I'll get there. Radio ones that are like, and I'm like, word. With all due respect, I'm just saying that. But you know when you hear something too many times on the radio and you're like, wow, that song that's like, and I'm like, you know, oh my God, please, can I?
Please do.
We're playing Monopoly.
Oh, gosh.
Off to a bad start.
Yeah.
I'm just getting started, really. I'm 22. I'm so young.
How crazy is that you're just getting started?
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. I had a weird moment in the car the other night.
What was it?
I don't know. I was like thinking about everything. And because I was like really nervous, and because I was trying to get the video done on time, and I was stressed, and I was doing this, and I was getting nervous, and and I'm excited, but I'm nervous, and I'm excited, but I'm nervous, and then I was like, I had this weird thing in the car, and I was like, oh my God, is this really my life right now? Like, am I really so like nervous and stressed because I have a new song coming out and blah blah blah, and I just finished my tour? I had this weird pinch me moment in the car, and I was like getting teary-eyed, and I was like, don't cry. I was like, that's too cheesy, don't cry.
Who thought of the idea to finger the earth?
Oh, Dave Myers.
Dave Myers.
Dave Myers thought about that. He was like, yo, you down? I was like, duh.
Do we put weight in things like a Grammy or
No.
the amount of number ones?
I really try not to, and I'll tell you why. With all due respect to the Recording Academy, I respect them so greatly, and to Billboard, whom I also respect so greatly. I didn't come into this business being driven towards things like that. Like, I just wanted to sing. All I ever wanted to do was sing and write and perform and dance around and make music. I've loved singing my entire life. Since I was able to talk, I was able to sing. That's all I ever wanted. So I never really gave a I never wanted to do photo shoots. I never wanted to do red carpets. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Literally my pants, hate it. Every picture's ugly. Take me home. I can't be here. I just want to sing. All I want to do is be in a room with the lights off and sing. And that's all I've ever wanted. I'm honored to be acknowledged. I'm honored to have had my first 2 number ones with my friends that are in this room. It's very exciting. It's very exciting when it happens. Yeah. It really is. And I'm not going to pretend like it's not, because it is. And it's wonderful. It's a really great feeling. But I don't like that becoming something that's like of importance, because it's not. It doesn't make me any greater of an artist or lesser of an artist, because all of my favorite albums don't have Grammys. All of my favorite artists didn't have Grammys or number ones for... Actually, I don't think any of my favorite artists have number ones except Madonna.
Yeah, I was going to say, how many number ones does Imogen Heap have?
None.
Yeah.
I think the closest she came to it was because Jason Derulo featured Hide and Seek, sampled Hide and Seek, and that's like not even my favorite song of hers. Hide and Seek is one of my favorite songs in the world, but of hers, I love her whole entire discography equally.
Number one,
even the songs she wrote for her baby, Scout.
Number ones and a Grammy doesn't make a good record or not. It doesn't.
I don't think so, because at home as a viewer watching the Grammys, every year I'm always like, what? Literally, every year I'm like, what the f***? I always am rooting for my favorite albums.
Yeah.
And I know that people at home feel the same way. And I know that when I win a Grammy one day, people at home are going to be like, man, f*** that album and her ponytail. So it's fine. I don't think it makes or breaks anything. I think that there is music that feels good to people, and there's music that doesn't. And I think that it's very nice to be honored by the Recording Academy, but I think that it's something that I don't want to become too important to me, because at the end of the day, my favorite music none of my favorite albums or songs or artists really have Grammys.
What's the deal with Gopher and the God is a Woman video?
Oh yeah. So they kind of represent a bunch of things. Like, to me, that feels like how I feel at times, being a woman who is like misunderstood and like constantly labeled or like pinned down as one thing or another, and who's, I feel like, constantly misunderstood. Sometimes I'm just like, and those are like also like people reference like beaver as like
yes
they do. So I was like, what if they were just like they do that? They do. They say like beaver as like guys will be like, oh, like beaver. No one says that anymore, but like angry beaver, like they say that about like feminists and
for sure they do.
So it was supposed to represent like the frustration of being a misunderstood woman and popping out of the ground, being seen as just a sometimes, and just screaming like frustrated, like, hi, I'm not just a vagina. So it's just a frustration of being a woman and feeling misunderstood and not heard, and like we've been screaming for decades for equality and also to be understood and to feel heard, and to be seen also as not just like a vessel for sex, and which like we totally can be if we choose to be also, which is sick.
We can be whatever we want to be. America.
We are the people.
That's freaking right.
This is America. We are the people.
Do you care about things like a Grammy?
It's kind of oh my god. Hold on. I just cleared my throat. I almost passed out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm back. Cool. I don't know what that was. I told you, man. I scared myself. I cleared my throat, and I thought someone else's like was doing it for me. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, that's
I'm
really
sorry.
that's a scary thought. When I first I freaked out a lot when you played me the album, but God Is a Woman just got me going.
Thanks, man.
You understand the cultural relevancy of that before you do it, or as it's happening,
You mean
or
like
until after?
you mean like where we're at?
I mean, you're literally. I mean, you have a song that says "God is a woman."
Mhm.
Like, obviously, there's a statement there. There's kind of. I mean,
Yeah.
You're tapping
for sure.
a few different things.
Yeah.
So, who pitches you that song?
Ilya.
Okay, and how finished was it before it got to you?
He had the hook.
Okay.
And he was like, yeah, we love this hook. Would you want to sing it and like give it to a rapper? And I was like, absolutely not. I was like, no. I was like, just let me take this home tonight and I'll come back in the morning. And Daniel was doing my makeup and I was like, I don't want to wait no time. And then I went back to studio that day and I was like, can we record it now? And then I recorded it and I was like, do you still want to put a rapper on it? And they were like,
Was it named "God Is a Woman"?
Yeah.
When it came to you?
Mm-hmm. And I was like, because I wanted to write that day. I was like, I'll write for someone else. I thought Sweetener was done. I had my label meeting to play them the music in 2 days, and I just went to hang out with them and like get excited for the meeting, basically. And I was like, I want to write while I'm here. Like, let's pull up something. And they were like, oh, like they pulled up this thing called like Single or something. They pulled up and I was like, oh, that's sick. I was like, that's cool. I'll write that for somebody else for sure. And then I was like, they pulled up another idea that was pretty dope, but like not it. And then Ilya was like, yo, what if we brought up God Is a Woman? And I was like, what did you just say? And they were like, oh yeah, we have this idea called God Is a Woman. And I was like, what the are you talking about? I was like, why did it take you this long to bring that up? It's me. I was like, oh my God, why can't we? Like, why did this take so long? And he pulled it up and he played it and I was like, shut the up. I was like, you need to shut up. I'm going home. I was like, bounce this, send it to me right now. I was like, I'll see you in the morning. I'm gonna jump off a cliff. I was like, this is the best thing I've ever heard. They were like, why don't you record the hook? And I was like, oh, I will. And he was like, oh, send it to a rapper. And I was like, please just let me have a chance first. I was like, I want this to be mine.
Wouldn't be
it's not the same. I don't want to share with a rapper. I don't want to share with a boy, especially.
Well, you've done a really great job. I mean, it's called God Is a Woman.
It's called God Is a Woman, you know? They can't...
Men are prophets.
I could envision a verse where they're lifting up the woman and stuff, but it's for girls.
Throughout your musical
With all
history,
due respect, of course, but like... I feel like I'm at a point where I can use my voice and I can yell about things that I'm passionate about, and I, that's a blessing. I'm excited. I don't want to just entertain. I want to make people feel something. I want to make people, feel. I want to make people give back and feel empowered and feel happy and like they're not alone. Whatever. All that good stuff. It's exciting to be able to use my voice to do those things.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm rambling because I'm nervous and it's cool.
Well,
I'm gonna go behind the mic.
Yeah, sure. As you go into 2016, do you have any goals? Like, what do you have? What's on your list?
I want to make sure that Moonlight is my best album yet. There've only been 3, but I want to make sure that it's the best one yet. And I think it is personally. I love it. I'm very proud of it.
And so when you're doing a song, how often are you listening to it? Is that what you're listening to in the car constantly? What is it?
When you're making new music and you're putting an album together, you definitely listen to it way too much. Because you're just, it's like you.
It's you.
It's like a baby.
Yes.
You made a new baby.
You
have a favorite baby.
That record, even though you've said Thank You Next in your life, does it take hearing it in a song to really make an imprint on you, to be able to actually move on and say and act Thank You Next? Do you get what I'm saying?
Can you say the question one more time? I forgot what you said at the beginning of the sentence.
Putting it
because I was thinking so hard about it. You were halfway through it and I forgot it.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Putting it into a song, does that allow you to actually, does that validate it for you? Because you can say Thank You Next all you want, but hearing it in a song and it's a hit like this.
Well, it became super real. You know what I mean? Like putting it in a song makes it very, okay, cool. We definitely just closed that chapter. You know what I mean? It's like, we had like 3 different versions of the song.
What's the biggest difference between the 3 of them?
Well,
Well, I was like, I'm like super shy when it comes to like pitching wild things. And so I was like, is it like insane if I name people and thank them directly in the song? And Taylor was like, well, bitch, it's gonna be a thing if you do, but I think it's brilliant. And she was like, but I think it's special, and yes, do it right now. Like, let's do it. And then we did it, and I was like, wow, this is really, really, really special and feels really like something, you know? And then I went home and slept on it, and we came back, and I was like, okay, let's make another version just in case without the names.
And that still exists somewhere today?
That still exists on y'all's hard drive somewhere.
What was in there instead of the names?
I think I said, say I'm too young or something. I've had too many boyfriends. I was just talking about what people say about me still. So it still like was like, okay, I'm embracing my mistakes and what I've done and everything that's contributed to who I am, but it was just less direct, and everyone kind of, including me, was kind of like, this is not the version. Like me as I was doing it was like, this is not the version. But I was also trying to be protective.
Yeah.
You know? So, Victoria, you want to take the reins? Tommy was like, I like when Tommy tells his part.
Yeah, I was like, look, let her record it. Let's all play along.
With the names.
Let's play along.
No, without the names.
Do it without the names. Everybody was mad. I said, no, we're going to do it. But we already know what version it is.
I'm like, we know which version it is. Because also in my relationship at the time, things were like up and down and on and off. And so I didn't know what was going to happen. And then, you know, we got back together, so I had to make a different version of it. And then we broke up again, so we ended up going with that version. There was a version where I was getting married. There's a version where I'm not getting married. There's a version with nothing. We're not talking about anything. And, but we all knew that the first version was going to be the version we ultimately went with.
But you needed to get that out of your system.
But yeah, I just wanted to cover all the bases, and it was a big risk and a very scary thing to do because it is my life. I understand that, like, to a lot of people, I'm not a real person, or it's easy to kind of just like see me as like a song or a picture or like a thing that kind of exists in their head, and they know what they know and that's it. But at the end of the day, these are people and relationships that have, you know,
real impact.
Yeah. I'm a little I'm like tearing up, but you know, it's real shit to me. So
it's real life.
It is real life, and spent a lot of time with each of those people, like learning and so it was like scary to put in a song.
Was it hard to listen to for the first time?
No, it was hard to play for people. I was nervous to play it for people.